Hello, everybody, and happy Monday. I was going to continue to work on battle map stuff today. Let me get this. Hey, Jeff Alton. Hey, Athletics. Hello. All right, this stuff. Adding bosses, rearranging things, rearranging location/enemies, fleshing out content, etc. Also, he got new glasses. Okay, what? How do I keep doing that? All right, we got it. So we're going to start with tenets. We didn't do this last week because I'd come back from vacation and I didn't remember anything. And then I want to take a look at this commit that we have. Need to finalize the commit that I was working on. Not sure if I'll be watching or lurking or only be here for a short time. But anyway, here I am. Hey, Leap Year Girl. Happy Monday. How has your Monday been so far? Because you are farther ahead than I am. You know the future. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah, tenets. He can C-bound. He can Java virtual machine. All right, tenant review. Oh, I never wrote tenant review for these. I like to have these here so that I can find them again later. Although I guess we could just search for sustainability : So we only have 2 right now. And I think these are really, really important for the rest of this. All right, today is the 10th. So sustainability and bricklaying. So sustainability last week went, I'd say, surprisingly well. I didn't do a ton on Tuesday. The rest of the week was solid. I think vacations really do help. How much drama can you tolerate? Uh-oh. Is everything moving forward on all the stuff you've been sending on Discord? Internet stuff, companies being jerks. Bricklaying. So I actually did have to stop doing localization stuff on stream, but I don't really attribute that to the bricklaying mentality. It's just bad stream content. I plan to do it off stream at some point. Yeah, so in general, it's feeling like we actually can launch in Q1. So I'm hoping we can finish up the story mode content maybe this month. I mean, it kind of has to be this month. We only have so many months. So if I say something's going to take a month, we have like 4 more times we can say that, and then we're out of time. Yeah, again, the roadmap is here. This document is public if people want to see it, although I don't know why you'd want to see it. But it's today.adamlearns.com. And this is the stuff that we have on the list. I mean, marketing's also there too, but yeah, mostly like get everything working in a different language, get all the content to be in the game, then just polish things pretty much. And there's some like meta tasks. And unfortunately, I think these meta tasks are kind of necessary. Like if we don't have Steam achievements, I think people would be let down. So even though it's kind of a nice to have, it's really more like a necessity. Anyway, I don't think Steam achievements are going to take too long. It's just stuff we have to think about. So I'm going to try to finish up this commit we had from last time. And we have, I think like 7 to-do items in here. No, more than 7. Yeah, and I added all of these just now. Ugh. And I don't even think this stuff works yet. Like I need another button to be on the battle map screen. Why is this? Oh yeah, okay, fine, don't save. Battle map marker. No, there's something, what is it? Battle panel tab? Yeah, so there's a start battle button here. We need 2 start battle buttons. Oh, and we have the repeat button still. Interesting. Called debt collectors on conference call with my guardian. First they were rude to her, and then they didn't answer my question the way I liked. Let's look at a new complaint. Especially because they made the same mistake 3 times now. Last name, date of birth is not enough to collect a debt. I wonder at what point, and I'm not necessarily suggesting this, but I wonder at what point you could just ignore them safely. Like they presumably can't collect a debt from the wrong person, but they can try. But if you just start ignoring them, even if they escalate, like they have no claim. Because I think debt collection in general is where you'll find a lot of like antagonistic targets, as in supposedly whatever clients, I guess you would say, of these people. And you probably hear every excuse in the book, and you probably get yelled at and everything, so they have no real incentive to be nice to people they're trying to collect debts from. And as far as they're concerned, the whole "you've got the wrong person" is probably something they hear all the time. So I wonder if it's still worth the hassle. All right, so at some point we need to figure out, we need to have another start battle button. It could be right here. Yeah, let's just put this in line for now. I guess it doesn't matter where it is. We can figure out the where later. And there's plenty of space here. So this is start battle. We can duplicate this and put it next to it on the left side maybe, and call this like start elite battle. Why did that not copy everything? What happened there? This doesn't have any children. Huh, strange. Okay, so this would be like, what did I say that it should say? Battle elite or something? What am I even looking at here? Oh, this is now the to-do list, man. Triggered my sense of justice, I guess. I want the other organization to have a look at their methods. Hopefully punish them or fine them so they change their ways. Yeah, I know what you mean. This is the same thing that happened to me with Payoneer. But at some point, well, I am going to make a video about it. But at some point I decided, like, this is causing me a lot of stress. And there's no way I'm going to get any results unless I actually sue somebody. And I don't want to be in a legal battle. But yeah, the old justice gauge is in the red. All right, fight elite. I mean, maybe it's just a battle elite. I'll say fight elite. And then down here, it could say ogre. And maybe it could be a different color too. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that yet. All right, so start elite battle we now have. We need battle panel tab to know about that. Start battle button, start button, here it is. Let's get a, oops, battle elite button. So what does this look like? Start elite battle is what it's called. Is that right? Yeah. And then we'll just say start elite battle, I guess. And hopefully we can copy paste this and not have it be crazy. How about we just pass in is elite? Pool is elite. Done. And now what that lets us do is say this. True. And this. False. Any other places that's called? Hopefully not. It's going to be an error if it is. No, doesn't exist. That might be enough to get this to work. Let's try it. I think there was a problem too last time where you couldn't. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But we probably have other assumptions that are just like broken or wrong here. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Hang on one second. There's some like dust on my monitor that I can only see when this is on a dark screen. I just wiped this the other day, but I apparently didn't do a good enough job. Yeah, there we go. I know that did nothing for all of you. You're not seeing it through a glass panel, but I am, and dust can form on glass. Okay, so there's fight elite. That should not even be showing unless there is an elite that's possible. So I don't think we should worry about that too much. We do need to control the visibility of this. Make sure the visibility of this is set correctly. Hey, Matt. Happy Monday. Okay, so what happens if we click this, though? It should fail and say can't find elite data. Is that what it did? Nullable objects must have a value for elite stuff, I'm guessing. Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. I probably need to restart, but that's to be expected. I'm not going to try to fix that right now. What I do want to try to figure out is how to, oh wait, also we need to hide the regular button, I guess. I need to figure out what happens when you do this on the next location. Oh, interesting. It keeps track of your battle map positions. Okay, so now I click fight elite. We should fight the ogre. Nice. All right, so let's say we flee. What happens? Does it go back to the ogre? Yes. Okay. It's already showing the rewards. Why? Oh, I wrote to do I need to fix this? Oh, something's very wrong. Oh, oh no. Okay, let's try that again. What's happening here? It just says to do I need to fix this. Okay, that part's probably fine because I just haven't done anything yet. But then we unlock this and just hitting fight ogre and then fleeing causes the next location to open? No, it doesn't. Oh, I repeated the battle. Oh, then I think I won. Oh, I might have. Okay, yeah, I think I know what I did. I think I clicked this to cause it to win. Did I? Does anyone remember that banner? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to assume that I did that. Yeah. And then if I click, oh, I can't do that now. Okay. I think we have a lot of cleanup stuff to do, but that in general, this is going to work. And it's just a little bit of a mess right now. Fix multiple battle buttons. So the start battle button for the canyon is getting disabled when you beat the ogre. It should be the battle elite button that gets disabled. The start battle button shouldn't even show when you haven't beaten the boss. The battle elite button shouldn't even show if there is no boss. And it should be disabled if you can't fight the boss again. Whew, okay, so that's looking better. Let's go take a look through the to-do items now. All right, so what does it say? Make sure to use this for the other button we add. Max party size elite battle. Yeah, I don't think I can do that right now. So let's skip that to-do item. What other to-do items can we do? What does it delete this? Yeah, this isn't needed anymore. Delete all these pointless comments. All right, so these, I guess. Ooh, it only kind of worked. Don't we have more pointless comments? Yes, we do. Any others? Yes, we do. Okay. Hey, Phil. Man, I'm excited to do, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff coming up, just kind of personally and also for Skeleseller that's going to be pretty good. Like, I'm looking forward to getting a lot of this work done. I think, you know, I've kind of talked about this before. There are these waves of motivation that happen that it doesn't matter about your discipline. Sometimes still you are more motivated than normal times. And I think when you're starting any project, if you plot like the time of a project and your general motivation, I think you start at a very high point with this stuff. Like most people start up here and then in about a month, you'll probably hit one of your lowest points with motivation when it comes to just a new project. At least that's what I found. And then if you can make it past that month, it starts to go up and then it probably goes something like this where it's in waves. But then there's the end time when you launch. And that's probably, this is kind of how I feel right now. Like this time period is about 3 months, this last little uptick here. And I'm probably like right here maybe. I'm feeling pretty motivated, but I also feel like it's rising a bit. Hey, Dead Walking. By the way, this interesting point here, this is what I call the passion drop-off point. If you're ever working on a new project with somebody, let's say a team of people, and you are all on board, that at about a month is when like half of your team will just drop off. They'll be like, yeah, I'm not working on this anymore. And it's because the idea of working on something is much cooler than the practicality of working on something. And also that people figure out like, oh man, I really need to rearrange my life for this. If you have anything going on in your life and you're like, oh, it's going to be whatever, 5 minutes of aberration from your normal schedule, it's like, okay, you can figure out 5 minutes. If you say it's going to be 5 days, it's like, okay, you can probably figure out 5 days. If you say it's going to be 50 days, at that point, it's like you're changing your routines to accommodate that. That's much harder. When does that happen? 1 month in? Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Hey, Karada. I think it's about 1 month in my experience, what I've seen. That you tackle a new project and after about a month, you're like, oh, I don't know about this anymore. But more importantly, I think it's mostly with group projects that happen and not something typically that, you know, your job is making you do. Your motivation might drop for your job, but like you have to do it anyway. But if you're starting, let's say, a new game with someone, or you're going to make a website or a business or whatever, that you after about a month is like, uh-oh, someone's dropped out. Okay, so we got rid of all these pointless comments. I'm probably a terrible dev, but I hate working on legacy code bases. I feel like most people are not good at architecting and designing software and systems. DevX is the biggest pain point for my day-to-day generally. I think that this sentiment is shared with many people, and I think that this sentiment is too, but I think there's an important caveat for this that is worth keeping in mind, which is that like most devs of roughly the same skill level would make the same general decisions with the given circumstances. And the circumstances are not often known after the fact. So as an example, imagine that a boss is saying something like, I need this done in a week. Anyone can make good, well, not anyone. I guess if someone can make good software, they can make it in a certain amount of time, but a week might be too quick to make good software. And if someone's saying this and you can't push back, then you'll cut corners. You pretty much have to. If something's going to take you a month and you have to get it done in a week. And you might have done the same thing in that case. By the way, I'm not saying this to say like you're wrong about how you feel. How you feel is totally valid. I just think that the thing that ameliorates this a bit for me is thinking that if I were in their circumstances, I might have also done the same thing. And if only I knew what their circumstances were. This is I think it's known as the fundamental attribution error or fallacy or something like that, which is like you judge yourself based on your intentions and others based on their actions. And it's because you can't read minds. If you could, you'd probably judge them based on their intentions as well. But you know your own intentions. So that might make you feel a tiny bit better, and it might not change things at all, but that was in the hopes of making you feel a tiny bit better. Hey, TJ, I'll be here, but heavy on the lurking side. Got to lock in and get some work done. Nice, yeah. I'll be here as your work background. Depends on the length of the project, too. If it's a 2-month project, it's a lot easier to maintain that motivation. Yep, exactly. And hey, Krasner, hope you make it a great week. Cassie, because I hollered at you today. Thank you. Hey, Lammy. Same happens in new D&D campaigns. Yep, exactly. It's anything that basically requires a habit change. Because like I said, you can change the next 5 minutes pretty easily. You can, diet for a day. You can, whatever. There's small changes you can make and be like, yeah, that wasn't too bad. But then once you get past about 2-3 weeks, it's like, ooh, we need to work this into our schedule. We need to make sure it's still important. I often do think that's why long-term I probably won't stick with software engineering. I love building quality systems, but so many places prioritize feature farms and market-driven development over building robust and sustainable software. Yeah, I think this is really, really tough. Like really tough, because I feel like there's been an industry shift since computers came about. And I sort of think about this. I don't want to belabor this point too much. So I'll just say this. Like, let's say you were making software in 1980. Well, maybe not 1980. Let's say maybe like 1990. Let's say you were making software back then. The amount of requirements you had to fulfill was not very much. Like, how many hardware configurations did you have to get this to work on? How many customers did you have? How many customers could you even have? Like, there just wasn't the globalization that we have now, such that you could make software, like make it be good, and then kind of maintain it for a bit. But I think nowadays when it's like, we might eventually reach 1 million people, or we might reach markets where I've never even been there. It's like, I've never been to whatever, South Africa, but we might have customers there. Do you know how to serve those people? Do you know what sort of things they're expecting out of the software? And as a result, I think we're in this constantly shifting set of requirements where you get done with a feature and it's like, okay, next feature, next thing, next whatever. And this blob of software that you wrote that was never meant to accommodate those requirements now needs to be evolved. Anyway, it's tough. So bad at behavioral changes doesn't help. Stuff keeps happening. It takes away time I plan to spend on one of my projects. Yeah. Yeah. This is very trite, but the whole like focus on the journey, not the destination. I think about this a lot because I'm a very goal-driven person and goals are essentially destinations. But I think I have to like force myself to focus on the journey because in essence that's life. Like things will happen and what you want to do today might not be what you get to do today. And I think we can't live in a constant state of like we don't like our circumstances. But yeah, anyway, larger topic, but it's something I've been kind of grappling with over the years. Maybe rename this all instance data that I get returns battle map location data now, which is a bit of a misnomer. So all instance data, okay, so I guess like what is an instance and what is a location? We're saying an instance is a battle, essentially, and a location is a node on the map that opens a location. So maybe all we should rename is the get function, and this should say like get location data. But it's for an instance? Okay, this is what's weird about this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that so far. I saw a talk recently about cumulative burnout. Sums me up pretty well. Yeah. Man. I think if you're struggling with burnout, it probably feels a little bit like you're on a train that's going to derail at some point, and you're like, do I get this train to stay on the tracks? How do I stop it? Is there another train I can get onto? All right, well, what does this data represent? We have instance ID, battle map, location data. And the location data contains the instance data. So these are not instance IDs anymore. These are location IDs. Okay. Yeah, so then that, oh man, this is gonna be one heck of a rename. I wonder if I were to, how many files does this exist in? 30 files. Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy. So here's the issue. I can do this. I can press F2 and I can rename this and call this location ID. That would take me literally 3 seconds. I'd be done. But then you're going to have a whole bunch of these sorts of things where it's like this will now say location ID and this will say instance. And same thing over here. This will say location ID and this will say instance ID. Now I could do a find replace on instance ID in all these places too. But sometimes they're last instance ID. Sometimes they're, yeah, instance to go to. Sometimes it's literally just ID. Well, I guess ID is fine. Unlocked instance IDs. So I think what I'm going to do is just change this comment to say, no, these are technically location IDs, not instance IDs. Originally, the battle map, I guess I should say like nodes on the battle map, i.e. locations, always corresponded to exactly one instance. Now, I guess like once we allowed for both boss and regular battles in the same location, this was no longer the case. But renaming like 500 results in the code base just doesn't seem worth it. Yeah. I shouldn't say 500, I should say hundreds of variables in the code base. Like instance ID. Yeah. Okay, but we renamed the function, and so that means that that to-do item can be deleted. Next to-do item, improve this line of code. So how does this work? If is elite, then return the max number of adventurers. Okay, now I guess what we can do is we can call get data. Wait, there's a default. Why? Where does max number of adventurers exist? Only here? Because we assume the max is always the same? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. I don't think we can improve this line of code. I think it's just what it is. That's fine. Okay. Next up is rename this. Okay, yeah, this is easy. But I should search for instance data first and just make sure nothing's wrong here. I think we deleted the old one, so I don't think this can possibly exist. Yeah, it doesn't look like it exists. Oh, God, what is this? It exists in comments, but the comments have to-do items over them? Instance data. Is there a way to search for just that? 2 comments. But that's not exactly what I meant to search for. This is what I meant to search for. Instance data. Lifebeard, thanks for the resub. How goes it? Whoops. I typed that wrong. Yeah, even this says instance data. I don't like that. Oh, man. It kind of makes me wonder if I modeled the data incorrectly. What is this? Oh, I wrote to do I need to fix this. Okay, good. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I still wonder if I modeled things incorrectly here. So again, we have a location is a node on the battle map. And then an instance is a place where you do battle. Each node has to have a regular battle. And each node can have a boss battle. So that means that a location can correspond to 1 or 2 instances. So location has a boss instance and a regular instance. End of the year, so work is winding down, thankfully. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I feel like that won't entirely be true for me, which I also don't mind. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and I need to ramp up marketing again at some point. So there's a lot to do. But it's exciting stuff. It's fun getting close to launch. I remember being just a ball of stress for the botland launches. But now I feel like we've got a little bit more confidence in what's going on. Now, that said, up until the launch, the metrics are basically dead. Like, there are hardly any new players. There are almost no YouTube videos. Excuse me, and that's due to me not marketing it. And yeah, Steam presumably just, it's probably like, well, your game's basically dead, right? Like, no one's talking in the community hub or anything. And I'm not saying people should go do this stuff. I'm just saying, like, unless I give this a nudge or launch the game, it's going to be in this limbo state. Hey, Codex. Also far more stressful considering it's dependent on a running server. Yeah, and dependent on having people. Man, there's this is kind of sad, but I don't know what this is called. I think it's called, like, Ship of Heroes or something. Superhero MMO negative reviews. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream before. Yeah, Ship of Heroes. Okay, so this is sort of sad, but this MMORPG launches called Ship of Heroes, and it's got really negative reviews, like really negative. And it was $60. Now they've got a sale, but that was $60, and they had a subscription fee of like $15 a month. And I don't even think you got a free month of subscription. And it's like, this model is just never really done nowadays, where you pay a massive fee and then also a subscription fee on top of it. Like usually it's one or the other. A lot of times it's free to play and there are cosmetics or something. And a lot of the devs said, oh, this is getting review bombed. But everyone was saying, no, just based on the game itself is why it's getting negative reviews. And then the devs started trying to shift people to their own forums and said something like, well, look, there's still enough people playing. Well, according to Steam, there are not enough people playing. There's like 3 or 4 people online at any given time. And this game does not really work. Like, why would you play an MMORPG if literally the entire player base at any given moment is 4 people? It's not really a massively multiplayer online game at that point. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I was thinking about with Botland. It's like we needed players for the game to work. And it becomes this chicken and egg problem of, well, if the game doesn't have players, why would people want to play it? And how do you then get players? Also way more complex. Yeah. So we've cut out a lot of those sorts of requirements for this game. It's single player. If there are servers running, it's going to be for hopefully optional content like leaderboards. And if you were to like take off the server forever and you just didn't have leaderboards, is that such a big deal? Not really. At least not for this kind of game. There are probably games that are competitions out there where without the leaderboards, they're not really all that fun anymore. But yeah, this still has a story mode. It still has a lot of single player stuff you can do. Okay, so what did I learn from this? Is there a better way to do this? So when you battle, you pass a location and a Boolean for is elite. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say it's fine. Hang on one sec. I got to turn the heat off. This is where it would be nice to have a remotely controlled thermostat. But there's a physical set of switches on the wall behind me. All right, rename this. Yeah, so we got to rename both of these things. I didn't do either of these. We just delete the rename me part here. Same thing with this. Okie dokie. So this has been renamed. This has been renamed. And now how many to-do items do we have left? What is that, 9? All right. We may need 2 rewards container per location now. I'll do that later. Pull in the elite data if the boss is showing. I think we need to cache this information somewhere to know, like, is the boss showing? Or can you fight the boss? We should probably cache a, like, bool is boss showing, or maybe bool can fight boss. Hey, Cavino, thanks for the raid. This is earlier than normal for you to raid, right? Is it? I guess it's lunchtime for you. But hey, Vongo. Hey, Sammy. I just need to know what wiring you have available. Yeah. Wonder if I should bother with that. And hey, Megatron. He's in Germany for GodotCon. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. How is GodotCon? Hey, Dex. Welcome, everyone. We're working on Skeleseller here. I'll give Cavino a shout out really fast. We're working on Skeleseller here. It's a laid-back, idle-ish game where you send adventurers into battle and sell the items that they earn from their fights. So all that's kind of run in the background here. Actually, you know what? Let's build a town hall and get auto battling and then turn this on. And I'll make this a little bit smaller. So fights happen automatically, and also so does pretty much everything else. Although you can help out if you want. Like I can move a potion here and eventually customers will come buy this stuff. The big pretzel mafia forced him off. I'm picturing the office style setup where everyone's in a giant line for pretzels. And Cavino's like, I want one with everything. Marshmallows, cinnamon, butter. But hey, Jim. Godot Fest. Not GodotCon. I hate that gamer. Yeah, so today what we're working on in here is we've got this battle map. And up until now, every location could either have a regular battle or a boss. But now we're going to double up. So most locations will have both a regular battle and a boss. And it's just causing me to change a whole bunch of assumptions in the code base. So that's what we're going to work through today. And then once we can double up, it means that we're, instead of needing 8 locations for regular battles and bosses, we might now only need like 4 or 5 locations for that. So we need to condense all of the data that we had too. Hey, Jeremwatts. This is Mr. Farmboy. I don't think Mr. Farmboy has battles. And also, it's more focused on you building up your town yourself. This is like you have a specific dedicated plot for a thing. So like this is the armor shop, and this now lets you sell armor items. And then once you get to the volcano, for example, you'll start finding armor items. So here we get a cloak, and we can sell the cloak over here. So yeah, different focus, different, like you have skill trees and stuff you can apply to your adventurers. Let's see. So I think I want to hold off on these to-do items for now. Pull the elite data if the boss is showing. Yeah, I want to hold off on that. And same thing with this. This to-do, I need to fix this. We still need to address these. Make sure to use this for the other button we add. Yep, I'm not going to do any of this stuff just yet. Ensure we can just delete this. Yeah, I'll look into all this stuff in a little bit. What is this? Huh. This was a to-do item that I accidentally merged in. Analyzer action semantics. All right, I'm gonna leave it at this. Yeah, I'll leave the to-do item there. This is a totally separate change though. So I'll check that on its own. Remove to-do item. I hadn't even noticed this. But the rest of this, so let's try running this again. Why is that yellow now? Oh, converting to literal. I said I wasn't even going to deal with this. Do you do all your pixel art as well? No, I am very, very bad at artwork. I did the music for the game and a lot of the game design and coding, but none of the artwork. Trust me, you do not want to see me do artwork. Now, with that said, Quickie Joe's been working on the artwork, and he just submitted a new batch of icons, which I have not even looked at yet. I want to look at them today. Replace all the icon piles. Let's take a look at some of these new ones. Oh, wait, what? Why are there 155? Notice how much was being lost in the original Illustrator files when I saved them to SVGs? My pack can save them all as 256 by 256. Wait a second. How is that possible? SVGs shouldn't have a resolution problem. I'll need to think about this. I wonder what Quickie Joe had the game scale set to, because that's the only thing that could potentially... The rasterization happens when it gets imported into Godot, and the importing happens based on the width and height that I had saved. Hey, Trackley. Anyway, some of these are new, but it'd probably be hard to find the new ones unless I have a different color here. Shield reflect text clipping. Wonder what that is. Wait, I don't see any new ones though, huh? Oh, right, because the files already existed. Oh, so I would need to know which ones didn't have icons before. I guess we can just look at, yeah, anything that changed drastically like this. Nice. Oh, man. Stronger hires. This is pretty funny. Yeah, I'd have to go looking through all of them, which I actually kind of want to do. Ooh, I like that. Marine mana. Oh my god, look at how cute this is. Greedy garbage slime. Grant storage, looks pretty good. Free treasure chest, looks pretty good. Free guild supplies, love it. Fish give gold, this is amazing. The scales are turning into coins. Farm crop value. This isn't probably quite correct because this is supposed to be wisdom sludge value. But anyway, it's good enough for an icon. Enemy stat multiplier. Neat. Unlock perk, battle perk cost. Very cool. Auto fishing, love it. All right, a lot of these are the same. That's fine. I want to see the other new ones that we have. I think there were something like 14 icons. I'm going to merge these later. I just happen to look at them now because we were talking about art, and I haven't seen these yet, and I wanted to see them. Yeah, these are all the same. I think, oh, there's one. Always hungry. What a good little garbage slime. Yeah, I probably should have kept track of which ones need to be different. These are all the same. That one's different. Meta perks start with town perks. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah. And start with buildings. Nice. Whoa, neat. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Whoever did these did so good. Oh, yeah, definitely. This is Quickie Joe's work. Every once in a while, you'll see Quickie Joe type something in chat, but usually he's in meetings most of the day. Lots of loot. Love it. Yeah, these icons are great. Like I said, the only thing I noticed that's potentially problematic is just the coins on the more loot for things. Instant loot, this is also great. Love it. Instant harvest. Oh, cool. The sludge icon thing there. What is this? Impulse buy. Oh man. Yeah, this is great. You know, icons I think are things that gamers take for granted sometimes, especially in games that have so many abilities or items that you're probably not going to admire icon work. It's the kind of thing that I categorize as you expect it to be there, and the only way you notice it is sometimes if it's bad. It's like the music in a game. A lot of times you'll notice bad music right away, but unless the music is astounding, you're just gonna, everything between like okay to great, you'll probably just be like, yeah, the game has music. And it's got to be like a Square Enix level soundtrack made by an orchestra. You're so right. Well, and it's unfortunate too, because it's like a ton of work goes into these icons, a ton of work goes into the music I made. Flying guild supplies. This looks kind of like a Grim Reaper because he happened to use a cloak for this. I like it. It's cool. All right, I've already scrolled through most of this, so I'm going to finish looking through the rest of these. Oh, neat. Employee discount. Oh man, I really like some of these icons. These are going to turn into achievements on Steam as well, I think. Different adventure limits. That's pretty good. Any other ones? I think that's it. Yeah. I think we started at the top and I was scrolling. Oh, no, that's different. Bountiful Harvest. I forgot what Bountiful Harvest does. Oh, it makes it grow faster. That's right. Yeah, so this conveys that pretty well. Yeah, and that's it. Twitch has CC now. Closed captioning, I had that for a while. Some devs gonna hate it, but I use AI for button icons. I mean, I think you should just always do what makes the most sense for your game and your budget, both in terms of time and resources. So if your players aren't going to complain about button icons or something, then yeah, I think AI is probably reasonable. And if you want to use human artwork for the more in-your-face things, you could. But it's like one of the things I was saying is if people aren't going to notice your icons anyway, or they're not going to notice your music, you might as well just use AI. Something like everything in text as if I don't know English. I think closed captionings are still useful even when you speak the language that the video has. Like I have them on for movies a lot of the time. Sometimes their music is playing too loudly in a movie, or sometimes someone's mumbling and you can't tell what they're saying. All right, so a lot of this changed. A lot. And I should really look through this stuff and make sure it makes sense. Dialogue in movies, etc. Well, and with movies in particular, sometimes they're mixed for you to be listening in a theater, and your home sound system might not have that same fidelity. So it makes it much harder to hear. And sometimes they're just poorly mixed. I was watching, unfortunately, I was watching someone who rated me. I think this is slightly negative, but I almost couldn't hear what they were saying. They had music playing on their stream, and their music was just leveled louder than their audio. And I was only watching a VOD, so I didn't get to mention this to them, but it's something I definitely would have mentioned. Like, hey, you're very hard to hear. It's a shame. Okay, so this is for the cheat stuff. I don't care about cheat stuff. We do need to look through this code. Get max number of adventurers false. This is also for cheat stuff. Yeah, I don't care about any of this file. Regular battle system. Let's just change the name, placeholder for this. This I trust is all pretty much the same. I guess we would notice, well, maybe we'd notice if it weren't the same. And then some of this stuff needs to be changed. So I should probably write this here. To do change any rooms with one volcano bat. Their placeholders. And then probably need to change the cost to unlock. So I'll write this here too. To do make sure the costs to unlock are reasonable. So if we're going to validate anything, what we should validate is that the same items and the same enemies are there in any given place. So like this had a single ogre and it's dropping a potion. Same thing over here. Yep, that's fine. This has 3 volcano bats. It still has 3 volcano bats and it has the same items. Yeah, so I'm going to do this without verbalizing everything for this because it's easier to just glance and see. Ideally, the recommended level also didn't change. So this is different. That's going to have to change. And then this is 1 dragon, 1 rage blade. Yep. Looks good. Waterways has 3 worms, 2 grims. Yep, looks good. Recommended level 4. Cost unlock is probably wrong. CC for deaf and hard of hearing can really help me understand stuff I normally wouldn't have known. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the closed captioning data for this stream, when I did that code jam, I ended up... Wait. I ended up providing captions to Twitch. Is that what happened? I don't fully remember anymore, but I think that's what happened. Yeah, I can't recall. Okay, anyway, I think I've only had closed captioning for about 1.5 or 2 years now. So it was not way back in the day. All right, 7386. Yep, looks good. What is this? 6362 4122. That's all the same. And that's the same. And then this is for challenge mode. Yeah, I think I did all these correctly. I mean, so far, so good. Oh, man, there's a lot to look through for this diff. Sometimes I don't like leaving diffs across a weekend, and sometimes I think it's a good idea because you come back with a fresh brain and you think, is this sensible? Yeah, so far, so good. 3, 2, recommend level 4, 1, 5, yep, 2, 6, 2, 5, 2, 3, cost to unlock, yep, and 7, 5, yep, cool. Okay, 6, 3, 6, 2, 4, 1, 2, 2. 6, yeah, okay, all that's good too. And then I assume these are fine. What is this doing? Oh yeah, this is for a debug function. Excuse me. Why do you hard code and not use serialization? So if you ever have data for anything, like let's say you have, I don't know, bat has 10 life, 3 damage, and you have like worm is 7 life, 5 damage. You need this data to exist somewhere. Whether it exists in a C# file or in a JSON file or in a whatever, a database itself, doesn't really matter to me too much. In essence, these are constants. So they need to be constants somewhere. There needs to be a source for those constants. Now, yeah, we could potentially, once we know the shape of the data and we've got this kind of settled, we could throw them into a database or something and have them load at launch. Just it doesn't make much of a difference. Apparently I ended up here twice. Hey, Mars. Oh, through the raid through Cravino? All right, so we pass in is elite for this stuff. I think there are now some instance IDs that get passed in that aren't used, and I'm hoping that they show up gray here or something so that I see them while I'm looking through this. Yeah, we changed this data around quite a lot. Yep, that's fine for now. That's good. Okay, yeah, I think this is fine. They won't show up gray in the diff view, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure because some of the yellow highlights are happening here. Or like faded, not necessarily gray. Also, hey, Stowboy. Yeah, I don't see anything unusual yet. And I could have sworn there was at least one place, and I don't remember where it would have been. All right, hang on. I'm not actually reading through this. I should read through this. Location data. Yeah, so I renamed some of these variables. This is fine. We added is elite to like everything. Had to be done. Instance ID. We now pass the whole instance. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Yep. Yep. All right, now I start getting into some to-do items here. Okay, so it does show faded if we aren't using something. But I have a to-do item right above it, so I won't do anything about this for now. And we have a to-do item down here too. So I'll ignore that stuff. Because we're going to come back to it later. I think this stuff is fine, but some of this is going to have to change as well. I have some to-do items around the other feature work for this. We're almost down to the bottom of all of this. Rooms. Why did this matter? Oh, because we only show waves when you unlock something that actually has waves. So what's happening now? It says level 1 max adventure is 4. So if I were to beat this place and then go into the next one and fight the boss here, and then the next one gets unlocked automatically, still is not showing waves. Now we fight that one and go into the next location. We still don't see waves. It's not until you beat the dragon, I guess. Oh, that still said ogre. Oh, God. Ugh. Where is that? The battle elite button should have the proper name of the elite on the button. It's hard coded to ogre for right now. That was just me adding that hastily. Okay, so now I think we should show waves. I wonder if that always happened. Huh. And why can't we unlock this? Oh, because I had lost. Right, because I wasn't here to right-click this to force a win. Okay, so waves are showing, but the unlock button is also showing. What? What if I save and load? Yeah, that's not good. I'll just write that down as a bug. Bug. Beating the dragon still shows an unlock button over the waterways. No, this isn't even how this is going to work eventually. Beating a boss should only let you fight regular enemies at that location. And where I mentioned in the tips changing, where is that? Change tips. We may want to say that beating a boss lets you fight a regular battle at that location. Oh, hey, Cavino. How's Godot Fest? You must have rated Cavino, and then he rated you maybe. I see. I don't recognize the name Kumizu. Let me see what their stream is. Are they also in game dev? Yes. Artist. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm interested in hearing how Godot Fest goes from all the people I know who are going. I think Flair is also going to be there, or is also there, I guess, if it's today. Oh, it starts tomorrow. Okay, well, then there tomorrow. Been touring around Munich. Oh, cool. So you went to the last one of those, the Godot Fest. So I guess now you're used to... you're used to it. You know what to expect. All right, I think we're done with this. Okay, so what do we really do here? Allow for 2 instances per location. So yeah, before this, each location on the battle map only had either a regular battle or a boss battle, but not both. Now we allow for both, but I haven't finished coding everything to fully support this. Cool. All right, so this is done. Now we have all of the other things left to do. So how about we start with the most in-your-face thing as a player? So that one's like half the size of this one. So I had to come to Germany. See the big one, of course. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be a good time. The amount of exposure Godot got when Unity messed up is amazing. Yeah, a lot of people moved, or at least went to try it out. Okay, so how about this? Let's start with, you should not see the fight button. Like, we'll fix this stuff. So Battle Elite button shouldn't show if there's no boss. And it should be disabled if you can't fight the boss again. So if there's no boss, we never even show this button. So Battle Panel has like when you've selected an instance. And we do this where? Oh, it's in the instance map. So we didn't even do this here. So we have it for this. Got it. And then we call selected instance, which means the battle tab. Gets us here. Okay, so here we have it. We get the location data. So if there is no elite here, then we want to hide this. So elite, what do I call this? Battle elite button dot visible equals is elite. And this just checks if it has a value. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that on its own, that's part of it. But you also can't show this if you haven't unlocked the ability to fight elites again, then we need to disable the button. Well, let's try this for now. Heard of Coco's? I might have. I don't know what it is though anymore. I love Foss. A huge reason why I went to Godot earlier was I just did not want to use GDScript. Oh, never went to Godot earlier. All right, yeah. Python non-enjoyer here. Now that I have C# and bindings, I'll give it, yeah. Yeah, I think it's worth trying it out. I actually don't think GDScript is too bad now, but I do think it was rougher on the edges years ago. That was a complete shatter of trust in me. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like, I still think Unity is probably a very capable product technically, but I think it would be hard to know that they're gonna have your best interest at heart as a game dev from here on out. All right, so ideally this button is now hidden. Perfect. So it's not there. There's no button here because there's no elite in the forest. But if we beat this location and go to the next one, the button should be there. Yeah, so it's not there, it's there, it's not there, it's there, it's not there, it's there. Yeah. So then if you have beaten this location, so let's go do that, beat the location. Now we want to change how these things are shown. So we're going to save this and we got to fix this thing. So how about we just check in what we've done so far? So stop showing the battle elite button when no elite exists. Show battle elite button conditionally. When there's no elite at a location, the button will no longer show. Excuse me. Hey, Dor. What is that emote? Chaos? All right. And then, so this is done. This now needs to be done. It should be disabled if you can't fight the boss again. So how do we figure that out? We already have a way of disabling the start button, so it's got to be pretty simple, right? Oh, man. I say it's got to be pretty simple. We've got like a mega function here. Well, it shouldn't be that bad to rework. So we disable this if the location is elite and you can't repeat elite battles. Okay, this part's pretty reasonable. Cannot repeat elite battles. So this all needs to be done for the new button. But the old button, is there ever a reason you can't battle regularly? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so I got to figure out what happens in this scenario. You unlock the canyon and haven't beaten the boss. No, you can only fight the boss in this case. So do we disable the like start regular battle button or hide it? I don't know. I think we should start with disabling it. Yeah, should be disabled when you haven't beaten the boss yet. So this is not set start button state, it's set start buttons state. And we have two different buttons we need to set. So I got to think of what our conditions are for this stuff. 15 years. Thanks for the resub, Kevin. Thank you, thank you. Happy 15-month streak. How did that rebinding key stuff go? Is it straightforward? All right, so what am I doing? Auto repeat. If not, can fight boss. Can only fight an elite monster once. Choose a different location. Or start a regular battle. You need to have one of these. Location allows for this. That's fine. At least, well, it's fine for now, I guess. But yeah, we need to test that out. Make sure the different buttons use the different maximums for party size. I got to take a break pretty soon. Yeah, so this start button is disabled. Can't fight boss. The party is empty or has too many adventurers. So has too many adventurers is different based on the button. Just need to figure out how we want to save it and reapply it on launch. It's not persistent on its own. I see. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Good to hear. All right, so to disable the start button if there's a boss that you haven't beaten. And then we have the elite button. What did I call the elite button? There. So that's disabled if you can't fight the boss, or the party's empty, or I guess has too many adventurers for boss. Or elite. Max elite. Yeah, there. Is that reasonable? That might be reasonable. So now the start button, it says if you can't fight the boss. Where's that set? Here. So if there is a boss, has to fight boss equals the location is elite and you have not beaten it. So now that goes here. Okay, let's go try that. And then I'll probably take my break. In fact, I'm not sure why the ad thing hasn't triggered yet. Oh, maybe because it's got another 3 minutes, I guess. All right, well, start, continue. How does this look? Yeah, it just said ad starts in 1 minute. All right, so here are the buttons. Fight, elite, does not have a tooltip. Oh, and this has the wrong tooltip. Okay, so we got to set the tooltip on the right thing, but you are able to start a regular battle here. Nice. Nice. I think we're starting with the wrong border. I think I have that written down somewhere. Yeah. All right, but I got to take a break. So I got to put the right tooltips on the right buttons. The can't fight boss tooltip is on the regular button right now. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to take a break and I will start an ad so that you don't miss anything. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hello, and welcome back. Close the game. We have a picture, or a video, I guess, of Kevin's kitten. Oh. Oh, nice. Okay, so put tooltips on the right button. So it should be disabled if you can't fight the boss again. I think we've gotten this working correctly. Let's try from the beginning. Again, these are the things you need to make sure are bulletproof. I'm going to run this through a bunch of tests and everything too, just play tests. So right now we have just, I know I'm covering this with my shoulder, but we have a start battle button. This is working, it just doesn't have a tooltip. So I can start the battle, we can flee, it doesn't do anything. We can start the battle and win this time. And yeah, now we can go to the next location. So unlock the next location in the battle map. And then we have a to-do there. Yeah, obviously we need to fix that. So now we have a fight elite button, which is enabled, and we have the start button is disabled. But the tooltips aren't working yet. Yeah, so we hit fight elite. It puts us into the ogre battle 64. We win, we can go back. Now we can start a regular battle, but we can't fight the elite. Oh, and the little panel thing needs to, oh my God. This message shouldn't show. Yeah, let's paste this into here so I can see it in the proper colors. All right, but yeah, I think this is working correctly. It's putting the wrong border here, but we're fighting just a volcano bat, and when we win, we get just small red potions. Yeah, sure. So now we go over to here. We can do start battle in the volcano. This is, yep, this is good. All right, so I think this is decent. Let's win this one too, and then let's go try a couple of other little things here. So the crypt is the one that's important. We have fight elite, good. And that puts us in a battle against a dragon. But let's go unlock. How do I do this? I get myself a bunch of money. Then I go over to here and unlock this thing. And now I should be able to fight in the canyon again. Yeah, but now it's way stronger. Yeah, it's murdering me. And if we win there, we can repeat this. And it should go into a battle against the ogre again. I'm not going to wait for this. Yes. Cool. And we can still fight the red. Whoops. Oh man, I don't know what I just did. I don't know if I actually clicked or if that was a bug. Nope, that's definitely broken. Okay, well, why? Oh, because I edited an elite battle to turn into a regular one. Oh man. Thanks, Doro. Yeah, I gotta go look into that. So we do this, and then this, and then edit to be the forest. Wait, that didn't cause it. What? How did I hit that issue? I didn't even copy this because I thought I knew the repro. Uh-oh. uh, maybe we needed to unlock the ability to fight elites again. I'll just load the game if that's the case. So I go over to here and then I started a battle over here. I know that. And then I lost and I edited it. I think that's what happened. I went to here and I hit start. But it looked like... Oh, maybe it's because I needed to regenerate life. That's what broke? Ah. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. So this must have had his elite passed in here. And we tried calling this and it's wrong. On request start battle. This is only done if you edit the party and then it goes through regeneration. The Wowie map. Hey, Remy, how you doing? Oh, man. All right. Well, let's try to figure this out. So this is line 381. Start next battle. It pulls it from whether or not the instance was elite. This is not correct. That's not good. Repeat battle. Say is walking to portal true. That's really not good. I'm afraid to tell you as I'll just let you down. What, your day's not going well? Does not seem like an auspicious day for Dutch people in chat. Yeah, I'll fix this problem next, I suppose. Bug when lose a battle against the ogre in the canyon, then edit the party to go to the forest. After regenerating, it'll try to access elite data in the forest, but it doesn't exist. This is because start next battle uses instance.isElite, and the old instance was elite. Been ill on and off, and to top that off, got an inflamed tendon in my leg causing my knee to not cooperate. Oh man. Yeah, that's lasted for a long time. The illness, I mean. Oh, I know you said it's on and off, but still. Have you seen a doctor? I myself don't like going to see a doctor unless something is unusually wrong. But I always wonder, when is something going to be unusually wrong but not seem that way? And then I don't go to a doctor and then I missed out on some opportunity to fix something. He was like, nothing I'm going to do for now. This can take up to 8 weeks, so come back in 4 weeks. Wow. Yeah, crazy. Have you connected a debugger to your knee and like look through all the tendon code? Maybe that'll help. Maybe I should become a coding doctor with this kind of great advice. So I'd love to fix this particular problem now. Start next battle gets invoked with the instance. I guess each time we invoke it, we should know if you're going to a new location. This is honor generation complete. Something needs to know where you're going to go fight, and it's not the instance. How did this work up until now, I wonder? A 5 doctor. They just type your symptoms into AI. It's like, oh, looks like you're going to be fine in 32 days. So how do we know which instance to go to next? There must be something in there. Maybe on start new battle. What listens for this? Instance that is elite. I mean, this stuff is all dumb. I'm guessing there's something special I did here. Adventurers to do battle next. Next instance ID. Yeah, here it is. This needs to have like next is elite. This is so stupid. Yeah, this is stupid. So we pull it from the instance slot. Oh, man. Why do we even track this here? Wait, this isn't even the right thing. What am I doing? Yeah, there's a lot of little things. We have to track this for when instance is null or when we've just edited the party. In which case, this will represent whether the location we're going to go to should be elite. Right, so now we need to go make that a reality. Oh, man. I should reset the nerves and get you going again. You know, there are going to be times when AI sounds like it's just making stuff up, but it's accidentally right. I mean, in this case, it'll probably break your leg. But I just watched a video by Uthermal, who plays StarCraft 2, and he asked the AI to come up with StarCraft 2 strategies, and a lot of them sounded nonsensical. And they probably are somewhat nonsensical, but he's just such a good player that he made them work. And that video was very entertaining. So we set this once in a knit. Wherever we set next location to do battle is what I need to set this thing. Where is that? I can't even find it. Next instance ID. It gets set in a knit. What? Yeah, what? So we should just pull that out of there and not use it at all? I have no idea if I just fixed this problem. But this start next battle doesn't need the instance anymore? Because there's only one listener? End battle screen. Okay, I need to figure out what that used to say. End battle screen. Start next battle. It took in an instance. Why? What? And only instances manager listen to it? Whoops. No, there's also this one. Well, I don't think that matters. I think it's just this that matters. And it just ignored the... Ugh. Just ignored the instance anyway. Why can't I search? How do you search code? Huh, that's weird. Oh, now it works. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Hey, okay, how you doing? So yeah, this would just ignore whatever was here and pass in the instance slot. No, I'm missing something here. Oh my god, I'm definitely missing something. Takes in a bool. What? Did I just do that? I must have just done this. I'm doing pretty well. Doesn't sound like it right now, but yeah, things are going pretty well. I'm making progress. That's all I care about for now. Yeah, this was an action that took nothing. Okay, I want to do that again. So let's do this and delete this and delete this. And then the listener for this. Oh, there's one other error here. What's that error? There are 3 cases? Okay. And then the listener for this is over here. And we get rid of his elite. And we request this with whatever the instance slot has. Which means we don't need to pass anything else in. And then I'm guessing this gets called from 2 locations. It does not. Okay, so delete that. And yeah, nice. We're making this code a little bit cleaner. It's practically killing me. Yeah. All right. So instance slot dot is elite. That will hopefully do it. Let's go try it. Will it work? Putting a lot of faith in this. All right, so we start a battle against the ogre over here. We need to lose or at least take some damage. And then before we've had a chance to fully heal, we switch to the forest where there is no elite battle. Now we wait for the regeneration bar to hit full. So another 5 seconds. And then it should just start a battle against a bat. It did. And when we kill this thing, which I'll speed this up, it should drop a couple of potions or something. Yeah. All right, so now what if we do the opposite of that? What if we fight against the bat? I guess speed this up a little. And then make it go fight in the canyon afterward. And I got to do this quickly enough that it doesn't have time to heal. Oh man, I didn't do it fast enough. Or I guess I didn't take enough damage. So I should try. What? Did I? I might have accidentally clicked the wrong thing. Anyway, this should die. And I want to go fight in the canyon while regenerating life. But I want to specifically fight the ogre. And it should put them into that battle and not the regular battle. Yeah, so we'll find out very soon. Please show an ogre. Yes, nice. Whew. Okay. Cool. Oh, you know what else we could do, I guess, if we really wanted to test this? Go into a regular battle over here. And then lose this. And then go into a regular battle in a different location that has a non-regular battle, a boss battle, one might even say. And it should be 1 red bat. Good. And when we kill this, it should drop a red potion. Also good. Whew, great. So what do we do here? This is looking good. Let's check that in. This is good. This stuff is good. This is good. And yeah, this I don't want to do just yet. Set start button state. I don't want to change any of that just yet. Yeah, none of this stuff. Text, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, yeah, so we just check this in. All right, so fix bug with editing parties. All right, so in the case where you were fighting a boss, I'll just type repro. Start a boss battle, lose enough life in it such that you have to regenerate before starting a new battle. And then, did that work on the right line? Yeah. And then edit the party to be at a non-boss battle. The new battle would have tried to start as a boss battle because we were pulling is elite from the instance, not from the instance slot. So that's been fixed now. And then this is what I started to work on, which so far all we've gotten is for the 2 buttons to be enabled or disabled properly. So it should be disabled if you can't fight the boss again. I'm pretty sure we got that working, right? No, it's just... Wait, what? Oh, I have this. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Whoops. What am I clicking? I'm all over the place with the mouse today. So we just make a new game. I think we already got this done. So it's enabled and we win, and now it's disabled. Yeah. It's also moving the map. I got to stop from doing that. How do we do that? Beating a boss shouldn't unlock the next location anymore. So it shouldn't pan the camera. Oh, by the way, are you hearing those notifications again? Like that that just played? Was that audible to you all? A whole year. Here's to more. Thank you, Who Cares? Thank you for the year-long subscription. You did hear it. Okay. Then I'm going to cross it off my list because I did nothing. And it's magically fixed. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. Either way, I'll take it. But yeah, happy 1 year anniversary in this stream. I hope it's been quite the trip. Hey, Campbell Soup. Happy Monday. Yeah, for anyone just tuning in who didn't hear me talk about the roadmap in general, I want to launch Skeleseller in the next like 4 months, basically. The Q1 2026 is the target. And there's a bunch of stuff we have to do. It's mostly content for story mode, content for bone mode, achievements, localization, a new trailer, and a whole bunch of polish. That's pretty much what this all boils down to. I think we can get that done in about 4 months. And what we're working on right now is content for story mode. So we originally had 8 locations, 2 were boss locations. And I want to add, I think it was 6 more bosses. But I don't want the battle map to get out of control. So if we were to do this, and we need some non-boss locations too. So if this were to be the old style of doing things, we'd minimally need 14 locations, but then we'd have the non-boss one. So it'd probably be more like 17 or 18 locations or something like that. So what we did instead is we now have like doubled up locations. They have a regular and a boss battle, such that we should only need, I think it was like 10 we settled on. However many are in this picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So now we have 10 locations and 8 are also boss locations. So this is really nice because it means we had 8 and now we need 10. We only need 2 more locations to be drawn. So we need the mines and the mountain. And we don't really need to expand the map at all, which is nice from a usability perspective because you can zoom out here and see pretty much the whole thing. Excuse me. Hey, Cradlefish, and hey, Rahul. Did you launch? If so, how did it go? Oh, no, I have not. I don't know if you heard me talking, but I said I want to launch in the next 4 months. Yeah. So I have not launched yet. Oh, yeah. So that's what we're working on today, is getting so that we can double up locations and everything. And then once we're done with that, we need to code 6 more bosses, which I need to design them. Bosses are essentially the only hard fights in the game, and they all have a gimmick. So as an example, we might have something like the boss always kills its target. Like it does like 99999 damage or whatever. That could be a gimmick. And now what you have to do against this boss is like get characters that can dodge abilities, get characters that can become invulnerable or something, or characters that revive themselves so that you can still do enough damage to win. So yeah, those are the kinds of things. Thought that was the name of a feature and not the game name. Oh no, yeah, Skeleseller is the game name. And thank you, yeah. We're still a ways away. So I think with respect to launch, there's the technical part, there's the marketing part, and that's pretty much it, right? So on the technical front, we should have, by the time we launch, we should be pretty confident in this. The marketing front, though, is like, who knows? Hang on a second. Excuse me. And yeah, that'll still be a question even closer to launch. I mean, I'll have a bunch of things lined up. We still gotta hope that they pan out. All right, so then we did this. Put the right tools. So I guess let's just check this in now. This is gonna be like disable the fight elite button appropriately. It's not even fight elite, the start battle buttons. You can't start a regular battle if there's a boss you haven't defeated. And you can't start a boss battle if you haven't unlocked the ability to repeat those fights yet. Yeah. All right, put the right buttons on the right tooltips. So we have a start battle tooltip. Start battle tooltip, that's here. And we're going to also have a fight elite. Is that what I've been calling this? Battle elite. Battle elite tooltip. And then let's go get that. Reload from disk. Don't know why I would have had to do that. That's a little bit spooky. Is there a tooltip on here? There is not, but we will go add one. And this should just say set via code. And this one should have said that too. And this should be, what do we call this? Battle Elite tooltip. Yeah, whatever. All right, so Battle Elite tooltip. Anything else we need to do? Set text. Error label. Yeah, this is going to be problematic, isn't it? Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, so how about we start with looking at the error labels. What are they? You can only fight an elite monster once, choose a different location, or start a regular battle. So this needs to be on the Battle Elite tooltip. Yeah. Okay, if your party's empty, you need to have at least one adventure in your party. So there need to be this concept of like shared errors, I guess. Still doing the 10K steps, started putting in other things into the workout, doing push-ups now too. That's great. That's really great. Yeah, I was just reading this article or a blog post or something, I don't know what, on heart disease. And the person who was putting this together basically had a couple of points. Like, one, heart disease is something pretty much everyone should know about. And two, your doctor won't help you much on this front, or like your general practitioner, I guess. And then they said how you can help, and it basically boiled down to diet and exercise. Who would have thought? And the exercise is like weightlifting 3 times per week, and then running for like 2 hours per week, or cardio, I guess, not necessarily running. And then some like high intensity interval training once a week. And the diet was basically the Mediterranean diet, but it was like cut down on saturated fats and carbs, and don't eat too much or too little. And there were some other things in there too about smoking and alcohol, but they did acknowledge that like this is a lot for most people. So I think doing the 10K steps per day is a pretty achievable goal, and in most of human history would have been just a given. Like, what day wouldn't you have walked 10,000 steps on? But yeah, nowadays it's not a given. So at least just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to do that. And then obviously the rest of these things could be helpful. And not even necessarily for heart disease, just for probably quality of life and just general health, even beyond heart health, like your muscles, your... Anyway, I got to probably do some more cardio. We used to live in a place that we would walk everywhere, and now we've been driving more places. All right, so there's a tooltip. There are 3 things. 3 things can show an error or an advisory. They're not really errors, but one could be the I don't know, I'll say like the banner label, and then the elite button and the regular button. So some of these are problems no matter what. And I've been doing this kind of weirdly here. Yeah, so string shared error equals string.empty. So this would be an example of a shared error. And then we'd have string like elite error and string regular error. This is very weird to do. But yeah, this would be elite error equals this. If you can't fight the boss, we have an else if here. I don't think we can do that anymore. We can just an if. So the party's empty. That is a shared error. If you have too many adventurers, there's the concept of whether you have too many regularly or for an elite battle. But you could have too many for both. But it won't let you know how many adventurers you could have. Huh. Hey, Skeleseller, thank you. I have some heart issues that I need surgery for. You really have to advocate for yourself in the healthcare world. Been an ongoing battle with insurance for the past year. Man, I get the advocating for yourself when it comes to health, but I feel like you shouldn't have to advocate for yourself when it comes to health insurance. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know. Ideally, you'd have people advocating for you in both cases. But with insurance, it should just be like, I have this problem. I'm paying you in case this problem happens. Now pay for the problem. Like it should just be that. And I know it's not. Yeah. But I hope you're able to get the care you need. I don't know. It's all right. I was debating on whether I wanted to talk about this, but I was having a conversation with my wife this morning about a person whom it doesn't matter. Let's just call them person X or whatever for this. And we were talking about financial issues. Actually, it's not like this person will ever see the stream. It's like a very distant relative of my wife's who lives in India. And what I was talking about is a person can live their life making like bad decisions, and it's their problem until it's not their problem. So imagine, for example, that you're making like a good amount of money. Let's say you're making $100,000 per year, and let's say you're spending like $95,000, or let's say, I don't know, with taxes too, you're spending $100,000 per year. And let's say you're living in like a really low cost of living area. There's no like extenuating circumstances. You're just buying a new iPad or whatever every month, something that's frivolous, right? So this is your prerogative. It's your money. You can do what you want with it. And now you do this for your entire career, and then you retire and you only have Social Security now to go off of. And it's like at that point, your problem might now become someone else's problem. And I think it works this way with a couple of big things. I think it works this way with finances, and I think it works this way with health. I can't think if there's another like major category where this can happen. But yeah, so imagine you're just unhealthy your whole life, and now you just literally cannot care for yourself anymore. It's like, well, now you become somebody else's problem. And I don't say this in a careless way. I'm saying this in a like a high level, detached way. I realize on a person-to-person basis, these things can be problems. But at least with finances, I think a lot of the times some amount of financial education would go a long way. And even basic things, like if you have your money in a checking account and you're earning no interest on it, it's like you could just put it in a savings account and earn interest. It's like, I know there are cases where you can't always do this. This is not a case of like, do you have too much money or something like that? Or do you need enough money? It's like some people just don't know about that, or they don't understand that inflation is going to chip away at money that they have even in a savings account. And if you don't know that, you'll make different decisions, and then those different decisions can eventually harm other people. I had a point with this, but it was kind of muddied there anyway. I guess in the end, it's like we should all be paying attention to our own health, whether it's personal, whether it's mental, whether it's financial health. There's a, what is it? Let me look this up first. Yeah, Swedish death cleaning. Like this concept is basically like take care of your own stuff before you die so other people don't have to do it. I feel like we should all apply this to different parts of our lives. Like make sure your ducks are in a row so other people don't have to do it for you. Okay, so these things are good. Then this has too many adventurers. This needs to be for a specific error. So in this case, it's going to be regular error. And then we have another one if has too many adventurers for elite. We're going to pretty much do the same thing here. And I'd like to refactor some of this code. Whoa, what is going on? There we go. So num extra equals adventurers minus max elite, pluralized max elite, adventurers. So location only allows for that many. Remove the extra by clicking them. And is it going to complain that... No, it's not going to complain about this yet. So, but I'll just ready to refactor this. Refactor this to be a function. All right, can all adventurers start battle? So if they can't... Oh, by the way, I'm inverting the priorities for these. I got to probably fix that. So at least one of your adventurers in battle, starting a new one will end such battles. This is a shared error. And then we have a color to be a warning. Otherwise, it's going to be considered an error. Yeah. Hey, Homer. Seeing that life is going well, ambient it is. What? Sounds like an AI message. Is there... I don't know what you're trying to say. The Swedish method? I still don't follow what you're saying. What does this ambient it is mean? Okay, so what is this like? Shared error is just a warning equals false. You know what? We could even use this color thing down here, huh? You're talking about death or something? Yeah, I was talking about Swedish death cleaning. What does ambient it is mean, though? Also, I'll link the thing I was talking about. This. Yeah. Decluttering method. It's a simple living practice encouraging people to get rid of belongings before death to spare loved ones from having to manage them. Yeah. Okay, so I can move this down here and we can do the warning stuff. So error, just a warning. If it is, then we use warning text color. Otherwise, error text color. Okay, so now we don't need this here. This could be... This is set this to true. Okay, at least one of your adventures in a battle. Max battles, I guess same thing. You already have the maximum number of battles open. And then there's an else here setting this to empty and hiding it. So I guess we could just do this if error, or we could just do error label container dot visible equals string dot is null or empty error label text. Yeah, and it's the opposite of that. And then we don't need this. And then I need to invert all of these if statements and put them up at the top because this was a priority thing. So that goes first. And then this goes second. And then this goes third. And then the others, I guess, don't matter what the order is. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'll just move them anyway. There. Okay, cool. Then we set the tooltip on these things correctly. So this should be set to... Oh, I guess what we have to do is if regular error is null or empty, and the shared one isn't, then set it to that, and same thing for the elite one. Perfect. And then we set these things in here. So start battle is going to be the regular error. The elite tooltip is going to be the elite error. And the text of the error label equals shared. I think we're good. I think there's some errors that are missing from here, but I guess we can go try this out and see what it looks like. Yeah, there are definitely some errors that are missing because we disable these buttons now, and I did not put a reason why in all the cases, but it should be maybe slightly closer to what we want to see. So let's go take a look. Oh, this is just blank. Yuck. It's visible if this is not empty. Oh, I see. This should say shared error. Okay, my bad. Wait, whoa, what? Well, oh, I see. Yeah. All right, cool. So we don't have any tooltip here, and we don't have it disabled. I don't know if this ever used to have a tooltip. I think it's only if you have a mistake. So like this. Now it says you need to have at least one adventurer in your party. Add an adventurer by clicking them. And now if you hover over this, it should say the same thing. It does. Good. Now what happens if you have too many? So let's say I unlock every adventurer. Now this is disabled and says this location only allows for 4 adventurers. Remove the extra by clicking them. Okay. All right, so now I start a battle, and we win, and we go to the next place. So now both of these are disabled. This location only allows for 2 adventurers. Remove the extras by clicking them. And this has no tooltip, which is because of a different problem that we have. So anyway, I click these, and now it's enabled. If I click this, it says the thing about needing at least 1 adventurer. Okay, so in general, this is kind of working. We need to handle what happens when we've disabled the button altogether. Where is that? Why is this here? This shouldn't be here. Oh, I see. Okay, so if... Let's just find where I disabled the button. Sorry, it has to fight boss, is party empty, or too many adventurers. Yeah, so if has to fight boss, then regular error equals you must fight the elite monster at this location before being able to start regular battles here. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And then the same thing for the elite battle. Although we might already have that error somewhere. Where is that? You have a maximum of this, one of your adventurers, location only allows for that. You have at least 1 adventurer. You can only fight elite monsters once. Here it is. Choose a different location. Okay, so that should be the entirety of the error messages, if I'm not mistaken. And let's go test it out. All right, so we win this. We go up to here. Now it says, you must fight the elite monster at this location before being able to start regular battles here. So now I click fight elite. And we're going to win this. And now what do we see? You can only fight an elite monster once. Choose a different location or start a regular battle. Yep, cool. Cool. Oh, and then this says choose a different location. Choose a different location. Yeah, this is technically not correct. Or start a regular battle. Choose a different location or start a regular battle. Yeah. Now what about auto repeat? I gotta go enable that. You can only fight an elite monster once. Choose a different location. Sounds good. What if we started... Is that off? Oh, I think that's a problem. Yeah, it thinks it's elite. Oh, come on. Okay, so this is finished. If you have auto battling unlocked, it doesn't let you auto repeat a regular battle in the canyon because it thinks it's an elite location. All right, so put the right tooltips and the right buttons. That is good. This doesn't show. Yeah. Start battle button for the canyon is getting disabled when you beat the ogre. That's done. Start battle button should be disabled when you haven't beaten the boss yet. I think that was done. I can't fully recall, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was done. I should really test it. Fine. It doesn't even take that long. So there, and yeah, it's disabled. Battle Elite button should have the proper name. Oh yeah, I never did that. Hard coded to Ogre for right now. Okay, where might you be? Selected instance label. This is going to be Elite name. And we're going to put this in battle panel tab. And that's when you select a specific instance that has an elite. Yeah. So what is this, a regular label? Private label this. Elite name label equals null. And then we get that node, elite name label. And then we set it when you select an instance. If is elite, then set the text of this to that. Good. Why is there red? What? Why is there red? It's right there. Oh, because that should be label. And that is a label, right? Yeah. It's sometimes hard to know if it's rich text or regular label. In this case, it's just a regular label. So now if we unlock all the locations and then click the crypt, it should say fight the dragon. But if you click the canyon, it should say to fight the ogre. So let's try that. It says ogre. And then if I click this, it says dragon. It says fight elite, and then it says dragon beneath it. I wonder if it should say fight dragon on it. Just make it a regular button. Or, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that for now. It's just wording. Wording's easy enough to fix later if we want to. All right, make sure the different buttons use different maximums for the party size. I'm pretty certain that's working, because I'm pretty sure we already tested this. So I go unlock this. And now both buttons are enabled. But as soon as I add the fourth adventurer, it's going to disable fight elite. And then the fifth adventurer, it's going to disable both of them. And maybe there should be a special message that prints here that says, like, you have too many adventurers for either battle. I guess we could do that. I don't know if that's going to help anybody. If has too many and has too many for elite, then shared error equals you have too many adventurers for either type of battle. Remove some by clicking them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's dumb. Let's try it. It's gonna tell you already on the buttons. And I don't know if this is helpful because the max for every battle is 4. But still, let's try it out. So I click this. You have too many adventurers in your party for either type of battle. Remove some by clicking them. I don't really like it. Yeah, I don't really like that. I'm going to delete that. Yeah, I don't want that there. Okay, so we got multiple battle buttons working pretty well. Nice. Yeah, this is all straightforward. Yep. This code got slightly nicer. Oh, whoops, I left it to do in there. Yeah, let's go fix that to do item. But yeah, the rest of this is looking pretty good. Battle panel tab. So this and this are pretty much the same. We're gonna go copy this to a function. I guess just right here. Private void, or it's actually gonna be a string. Is it gonna be a string? Where did I even copy that from? Where am I typing? In the wrong spot. It should be here. Private string. What are we calling this? Get too many adventurers message. Okay, so we need to know how many adventurers you have. Int num adventurers in battle party. And then we need to know int num adventurers allowed. And this is that. And this is num allowed. There. So now we can replace both of these calls up here with elite error equals get that. And then this will be regular battle. Cool. All right. So we have a whole bunch of errors that can print out here. Any other reason why you can't start a battle? Let me just think about this really fast. With elite, it's that you're not allowed to fight the boss, that you don't have any party members, or that you have too many party members. And this itself is already a compound statement of that there is no boss, or that you've already beaten the boss and can't repeat them. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. Yeah, that's not right. How did I not detect that then? Why is that not a problem? Because the button doesn't show in that case. Oh, so it wouldn't have mattered. Wait. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered because this is an or. So this first one will always be false, but that's okay. So can fight boss technically doesn't even need that as part of its condition because we just won't show this. Where do we hide that? Wait, we don't hide it. No, we do when you select the instance. Okay, I see. All right, yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, or repeat this or that, and that you haven't beaten it already. Yes, that's if you couldn't fight the boss. Okay, and you have to fight the boss if it's elite and you've never beaten it. Okay, sounds pretty reasonable. These conditions are pretty similar, right? This and this are both kind of there. I'm gonna probably leave that as is, but just put these closer to where they're used. Because I don't think we use this other. Oh no, we do use it out there. We use them both. Okay. All right, and then the start button is that you have to fight a boss or the same conditions as before, and the have to fight a boss is that you haven't beaten the boss there. Yeah. All right, great. So fix start battle buttons. Their error messages and tooltips weren't always correct. Now there are specialized error messages that only apply to a single button and a shared message that can show in the banner to the left of the buttons. If no specialized message is set, then the shared message will be used in the tooltip of the start button. Now this is a little bit complicated because you need to know where you find a particular item, and yeah, there's a little bit more that needs to change here. Let's check that in for now. So all of this stuff is done. Next up, if you have auto battling unlocked, it doesn't let you auto repeat a regular battle in the canyon because it thinks it's elite. Where does that even happen? Well, I guess it happens. We could just find the string where it happens. You have too many adventurers. Still have too many adventurers. Okay, so we unlock auto battling. And then we go into a regular battle over here. And this is disabled, saying you cannot auto repeat elite battles. Why is that? Location data is elite. That's not a thing anymore. This means it has elite. Oh, okay, I see. So what are we doing here? Battle panel tab. Huh. Hey, Sakaris. can also lock the left part where when the maximum is reached and show 4 empty slots on the right. Are you suggesting for this UI? Because one of the things that you don't want to stop people from adding more than is possible, because they might want to decide like, okay, I want someone of these 5 to be there. Which don't I want? So this lets you add too many so that you can then remove the one you want to get rid of. So it's a little bit of ease of use for the player, and I have seen people do that. But also now that you're able to start different fights, and you can pick different locations too, by the way. So like if you're going to this location and it only allows 3, and then you go to this one and it only allows 2, you'd want to be able to just remove the extras. You can add a tip like battle party X/4. Well, we don't know which particular location you want to go to yet, and each location has different parts you can battle at. So for example, if you fight the boss here, it only allows 2, but if you fight the regular battle, it allows 4. So basically, I'm trying to say I don't think there's a problem with at least this part of the UX here. I think we will probably run into something that's a little bit rougher on the edges, but that'll come out through playtesting, I think. But yeah, welcome to the stream. If you have auto battling enabled, it doesn't let you auto repeat. Yeah, so this is where I need to figure out, do we have an instance slot? Oh man, auto repeat. This is only part of this, what I just searched for. Cannot auto repeat. This must show up in multiple locations, right? Aha. Yeah, I don't think this one's needed. What are you having for lunch today? I'm not totally sure. I got some like meal delivery service thing, which I don't do very often. So I've got some like things in the fridge I could look through. So I'm probably gonna have one of those. What I've learned is that it's nice to do those maybe like once every couple months sort of thing. Will the game be in French too? Yeah, it should be. Yeah. It just isn't yet. All right, so I think we can get rid of this one. This auto repeat button isn't even there. It's hidden always. And it's always considered pressed. Yeah, I don't know about this. So there's a button that we had coded, this one right here, which lets you specify before you start a battle whether you want auto repeat on or off. And I determined that this is pointless. You always want it on if you can have it on. And then afterward, you can just choose to turn it off if you want to. So we never show this in the UI, but it's still there and it's still getting text updates and stuff. And I don't like that. I wonder if we should remove the auto repeat button from the UI entirely and just track this somewhere else. All we care is that it was unlocked. Hey, hello. Man, there's some weird messages coming through chat. and this is another one of those weird messages. This strikes me as a bot message. I never said anything to this person. The thanks for having me sounds like a generic, like I'm about to tell you about art services or something. Anyway, I'm about to take an ad break, so I'll just take my break now. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello again. Hey, ABC. Hey, Oogly Booglies. Excuse me, Cyrep. I'm pretty sure I saw you before the break, but hi, Cyrep. Close the game. Okie dokie. Also, I didn't mean to time out Alo for 10 minutes. I meant to time them out for less time than that. How do I undo that? Can I like untime them out? Ban, untime out. There we go. Okay, yeah. I don't know if they're still here, but if they are, they can type again. Okay, so where do we leave off of this? So auto battling, we have this auto repeat button that I don't know if I even want to have in existence. It's pressed and it's not disabled. And we disable it for bosses. Oh, I think, oh man, I don't like this. I don't like this. It's off color when hover. This doesn't matter. We should never show this either. I still like the fact you take breaks. It's good so you don't burn yourself out. I need to incorporate that as well. Yeah, I wasn't doing that originally, and it is easier to get burned out that way. You're saying I wasn't. I'm new to twitching. Drama was silly. Closed his computer down because he went to bed. What? I assume you're Alo. I untimed you out. I don't know if you're talking about this and you're that person, but to be clear, the thing that made you seem like a bot is the thanks for having me. I know you said you're new to Twitch. It sounds like your account was only made 2 years ago, but I didn't even know you existed until you said thanks for having me. So this strikes me as something a human wouldn't typically say. And then that's it. You said you're not a bot, and that's fine. But then, I mean, you happen to violate another chat rule. I didn't mean to time you out for 10 minutes. I meant to just say like, hey, this is a rule in chat. So, I mean, I'm still happy to have you here. I was watching, not streaming. Wait, what? Sorry, I might have missed what that was about. New to streaming. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just saying the new to Twitch bit, the thanks for having me is like, if you go to someone's house or something, I think this is the kind of thing you'd say. Like I said, there's just certain signs that someone's a bot. If you're not a bot, you're not a bot. I have to be careful that I'm not like talking to bots basically. I'm not trying to convince you to stay, by the way, either. I just want you to know there's no like, I don't have something against you. Just seem like a bot message, that's all. Okay, so I think this is a load bearing button. And I think if we remove this, we're gonna run into some problems with this. Back to lurking. Yeah, that's totally fine. Like I said, I think there are sort of two pieces of what happened here, and I think it's rather unfortunate when someone comes in sounding like a bot and they turn out not to be. There's also been cases in the past where I haven't been able to tell even after sort of repeated messages. And I guess the one case I'm thinking of most recently was that someone came in and just typed non sequiturs for every single line they typed. And at that point, it's like you might as well, it doesn't matter if you're a bot or a human, it's like if your messages have nothing to do with anything else, then it's it's like that XKCD about spammers acting like humans, except it's the opposite. It's like there'd be no value provided. Yeah, the other thing is, I guess this channel hasn't had too many problems with like spam bots or anything. At least not as of late. Twitch has also added some tooling for that. But yeah, every once in a while someone comes in and it's sort of questionable. Anyway, like I said, leave the stream in disgust or something. I think any of that is totally your prerogative. I hope I've kind of clarified at least kind of what I feel as a streamer here. And like I said, there's no ill will. Talked to a bot for like 5 minutes before I realized, yeah. And it's sad too because it gets your hopes up that like, oh, there's someone in chat who's new or who's excited, and then you find out, oh, they're not actually a real person. What raid trains? I know that there was a raid from Cavino today, and then someone QM something raided Cavino, and then who knows who it was before that person, and so on and so forth. I mean, this could continue forever. So yeah, that definitely is a thing. You pop into like random channels and you're not sure how you got there. All right, so the off color when hovered, is this used for anything else? It's literally just for this. And this is an icon toggle button, which also doesn't need to exist. No, wait, we do use icon toggle buttons elsewhere. We just don't use this elsewhere. So this could probably be deleted. Off color when hovered. Oh no, we just set it to gray by default. I see. So we just don't want to change this to dim gray. It's probably never going to look good anyway. And then when it's toggled, which you can't actually do, it sets the start button state. Because then we would use this thing. I wonder if we can get rid of this too. Huh. Because you can't press it. But this is only when it's toggled. Is this triggered through... Oh, wait, this is something I do. It's when the button is toggled. Okay, so is that done automatically or only when you click it? Toggle between pressed and normal. All right, we have like emit pressed without toggling this thing. All right, I'm not totally sure about this. I guess we could just put a breakpoint here and find out. Yeah, that's the easiest way. Yeah, I want to gut this, and then I want to make it so that the original message is changed that we had. So if I just start a new game, nothing should be different here. Everything should still work. So in fact, if I start a battle, it should just be a regular battle, and I win, and it, yep, that's it. Okay, great. So now I start a new battle, but I get auto battling. Ah, it does call this, so it is getting toggled. Okay, well, that's interesting to know. Remember the times we thought the Turing test was a real thing? Yeah, I think AI via LLMs can kind of trivially pass a Turing test, at least for a while. There's probably some way to find out. You know, I was actually thinking about this in terms of scam calls, and like scam calls in particular using a family member's voice. So I had something interesting happen to me over the weekend on Discord, and I think it's the first time this has ever happened. A person that I talked to, so let's call him Bob. Bob messaged me after 7 years of not talking to me, not out of like spite or something, just we hadn't been talking. And they said something like, I don't know, they eventually said something like, check out my game, and probably included a link. And I think Discord caught this. The reason this is the first time this has happened to me is someone else's account was hijacked that I actually knew. And I sensed that something was off just based on the whole 7 years thing. And it did turn out that they were hijacked. I talked to another friend of mine, and they lost everything. They lost their Gmail account. They lost like a whole bunch of different things. And then who knows how many of those accounts were used to then spam other people. But anyway, this is what was the biggest red flag for me was the 7 years. But imagine with someone I talked to like maybe once every few months. You might not know their typing style or something, and then they start talking to you, and something's a little bit off, but you can't tell what. And this person was working on a game, so like, if they hadn't been hacked, I'd be willing to try out their game. But anyway, this is how this malware spreads. So I was thinking about in terms of scam calls. Imagine if someone calls you up, and let's say, I don't know, you have a family member who you're in like moderate touch with. And I think probably the most typical example of this is someone's calling like a grandparent and making the voice sound like the grandkid. So the grandparent probably doesn't know about you can spoof someone's voice or how that would happen. And it's probably some amount of urgency here, like, oh my God, I'm held up at the store and they're asking me for money, or they're going to call the police, and can you wire me $100 or something like that? Like, the grandparent probably doesn't know any better and is going to probably just send money. And this will probably make those scam calls more effective. And what I was thinking is, how would you validate this as a person who's in the know? You'd probably ask an authenticating question. Something like, when we were both, whatever, 8 years old or something, not with a grandparent, you wouldn't say this, but when we were both 8 years old, we played X. What is X? Or something like that. A question only they would know the answer to. But I was actually thinking there's another way you could do this, which if you're talking to an AI, you could say, you could just keep saying interrupt me over and over and over again. And a human, like, I'm testing if you're an AI or something, you'd say something like this. A human would know to interrupt you, but an AI might wait for all of your text to be accumulated before interrupting. This technique probably won't work forever, if it ever works now even. It just got me thinking about that sort of thing. Secure your accounts, people. Yeah, secure your accounts indeed. But also be on the lookout for basically everything. It's like you can't trust anyone. If your friend messages you and says, hey, I've been working on this game, and you know they've been working on a game and they ask you to download it, you'd have to still validate that they're still them. Hey, mercenary. Someone I hadn't spoke to in 9 years messaged me out of nowhere. Same kind of message. Didn't fall for it. Yeah. Yeah, again, that length of time is a red flag, but someone's going to be, like the stars are going to align, and it's going to be only 1 month since they talked to you, and you are expecting a download link from them. Does a GitHub account make me look human? No. I feel like I rubbed you the wrong way by doubting your humanity when you first entered the stream. And I just want you to know it's not personal. And I know you said you're new to streaming. You'll probably have this happen to you eventually too, where a bot is in your channel and wastes your time somehow. And at that point, you're going to be on the lookout for bots. And that's happened to me because I've been streaming for a decade now. So it's just a simple check. Yeah. Also, the other thing to remember nowadays with LLMs is like, it's probably trivially easy to read the closed captions and respond using an LLM, such that if you were a bot, you'd still probably have the same sort of messages. My elevator pitch sounds like a bot. I got to change it. Well, like I said, it all boils down to the trigger for me is the thanks for having me bit. Again, I didn't know you existed. There's no indication you're even in my channel. So if you'd said like, hi, what are you working on? And then I respond, and then you are like, oh, hey, thanks for sharing or something like that. It'd be like, oh, I interacted with you, so I know about this. But this kind of gives me a red flag from the beginning of like, what? Like, I don't know who you are. So it sounds like a canned message that gets copy pasted into many channels. All right, so this toggle does get called, which means that we do need to call set start button state as soon as we unlock auto battle. But we do this anyway, and it's probably coming from button pressed, is it not? Let's find out. I mean, we go through all of this stuff and eventually get to this button pressed. Yep, here it is. So then we call into that thing at the bottom, I think. Hard to say. Yeah, here it is. It's coming from button pressed. But this already calls start button state. So the toggle is unnecessary, and this should technically make the game slightly more performant. Assuming I didn't already delete this. Press auto repeat button. Yes, set start button state. So this is no longer necessary, and it was only done here. So let's delete that and delete all this. Cool. I just thought it was rude to follow and leave. I would never have even known, just to be clear. A message wouldn't have popped up saying that you followed. I wouldn't have known you existed. I would have never known that you'd even watch the channel. Now, I will say this, my dashboard does include that there are follows, but the only thing I have open on my other screen right now is just chat. So like, I don't see any messages about follows. Subscriptions do alert me. But to be clear, at least for me in this channel, like, I'm totally fine with lurkers. I've seen people sub and say nothing, and that's also totally fine. My number one goal on this channel is make a game. So it's be productive. And then my number two goal is like entertain people in some way as much as I can while keeping my productivity goal. My last message wasn't even English. Sorry about that. You get the point? No, I did get the point. Yeah. We aren't that friendly yet? What? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. By the way, there's another thing that I think is kind of like a catch-all sort of rule of streaming, which is if someone is bringing you down, not someone, if a viewer is bringing you down in some way, it's like you need to do something about it. And the easiest tool is banning. Harder tools are some other, like you make rules or you point them to the rules, or even harder than that is like talk to them one-on-one and say, hey, this is happening, can you work on it? And I've done all of the methods over the years. I've had people who have been like sort of troublemakers, and I've talked to them one-on-one and they just didn't improve. And it's like at the end of the day, if my goal is to make a game, then I'm going to do what it takes to allow me to focus on the stream. So it's like, let's say you came in and every single day you were just like, Adam, what's your favorite color? At some point, I'm going to be like, you've got to stop. you just got to stop. There's nothing wrong with the question. But it'd be like, well, you're asking 14 times in a given month. Oh, to subscribe. Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to say you should subscribe. Yeah. I was just saying that even if you had and then you had not said anything, it would have still been fine. But yeah, take care. You're welcome back to the stream. And you're not distracting me, or at least not more than normal. So everything's a-okay. All right, so we don't need to set this to true. We just need to set that it's now enabled. Button pressed wouldn't be needed here. Just whether or not this thing is disabled. Enabled auto battle button press. Yeah, I think all we should do is based on whether this is disabled. No one noticed howdy howdy. I think it's because your sub message was the first message. Okay, so I want to get rid of this. And I want this to just be is auto repeat on. Anything else? Load from save data. This is dot disabled equals not enabled. This is just is auto repeat on. We're going to hide the button, but we're going to do it, I guess, through the UI. This is so weird. Yeah, I'm going to hide this. And now we don't need to do it here. So it gets disabled in some cases. Oh, I think I see. I think I'm butchering this. The other day, you told the story where you asked your wife if she'd still watch TikTok if everything were AI. How about would you still stream if all the viewers were just LLMs? So here's the thing. I guess the other part of that assumption is that I know that they're just LLMs, because it's entirely possible that everything we're seeing in chat right now could have been an LLM, right? But if I know that it's an LLM, would I still do it? And I think the answer is no, I would not still stream in that case. This is one of those things where it's like, imagine you play an MMORPG and every other player is actually a bot, but you don't know it. It's like, if you don't know it and it feels like they're real, then you wouldn't, yeah, if you don't know it, it means you haven't detected that anything's wrong and they just seem like they're players. So you'd play that game. But then as soon as you're like, hey, like, let's meet up in real life. And they're like, I am an LLM who does not have a corporeal form. You'd be like, what? Is every one of you an LLM? Yeah, I think it changes how you experience things. And I think there are cases where you'd be okay. So if you take that same MMORPG and now you're like, okay, it's a single player game with LLM actors. If you know that ahead of time, you might still play that game. But for me, streaming is for accountability. And I think that accountability comes from being in front of humans. And I think that accountability would go away if I knew you were all LLMs. Like, I'd probably replace it with going to the library or something and working from there. Well, obviously not talking out loud. So this thing about is auto repeat on is always considered on now. And now when you start a battle, so we used to disable this. Yeah, here. And I think we got to change that now. So we delete this. All right, I gotta keep this code around. Auto repeat button. So this sets button pressed. It should just set disabled equals false. Hey, Luigi. Can we just sit at another table at the library and silently stare at you? You'd have to read my mind, though. Okay, so all this looks pretty good. Is auto repeat on is mostly just is it enabled? And I'm guessing something outside of this uses this. Oh, great. Oh, great. Location data. We don't have location data, do we? No, the battle panel has to because it's selected. I know you're waiting for Kirby. Have you messed with your Switch 2 anymore? No, I haven't even played Donkey Kong again in the last like month or something. I feel kind of bad about that. But I do have a get together already planned for when Kirby comes out. So I'll have a couple friends over and we'll play. I've started ideas so many times this year. Started none of them. This will be the first. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. I think it's fun starting a new project. I think it gets overwhelming pretty fast. All right, so is auto repeat on is not the entirety of what we need here. We need this code to be here somewhere. And this is when you select a new location. So there's a concept of is auto repeat on and there's is it enabled. And we don't have location data here because it's only when you select this. Oh man, yeah, you can show the poster. Maybe this was stupid. Maybe I should just leave this thing around. It's certainly easier. Yeah. It is easier. All right, fine. I'm gonna gut this probably. I mean, hiding this through here is okay. Let's revert all this other code though. I don't want to ruin anything. The toggling was fine. This we're gonna do. Oh, this is technically still needed, right? No, we said start button stayed down there. I think this is fine. This we need to keep the way it was. We need some of this code. So hiding it isn't needed, and this stuff isn't needed. Yeah. And what else do we have? That's probably okay, and that is good. Cool. All right, let's try running this. So I haven't done anything. This should just be the same code, but we deleted a bunch of unnecessary stuff because it never rendered. So we start a new game. We go to this. Yeah, so there's no auto repeat button and it should not auto repeat for us. Good. But then we go make the button exist. And now the button shows up there. If I click it, it's going to make my mage walk to the portal and start a battle. And then if I win this, it's going to start a battle again. But if I do it through the map, it just toggles this on from the get-go. And I could turn that off if I can do this fast enough. I didn't do it fast enough. We gotta let the mage get far enough away and then click this and then really quickly click that. There we go. And now it's off. And so what happens if we win this battle? Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so that's working how it should have worked. And now what we need to do is still find the you cannot auto repeat battles. Yeah. So I should copy the exact message that's being used. Yeah, this. You cannot auto repeat. Okay, so what is this? In battle screen. Is elite is whether the location is elite. I don't want that. I think we pull it from the instance. And then probably the same thing over here. What is this? Walking to portal. Is elite. Is this one correct? This one might be correct. Walking to portal. Don't we not even show this if you can't auto repeat a battle? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we do. Well, let's try it out. So we unlock this, and then we click fight, and it says you cannot auto repeat elite battles. And same thing here, you cannot auto repeat. That's fine. Oh, I never restarted the code. Let's save this then before we can beat this. Oh, I just posted a poster in show and tell. I just want to enjoy the view. I hadn't seen the message before yours. All right, let's take a look. Prototype, March 2026. Nice. So it reminds me a little bit of an Etch-a-Sketch just based on the layout that you have here, because it looks kind of like a rectangle with 2 controls. You know, one of the things that I think is kind of nice nowadays is you could actually say to an LLM something like generate a poster of like Mario Kart for the Wii and use that for ideas even, if not just outright as your like placeholder art, and see what it does. All right, load game. So I want to fight here. I can't do that. That's fine. I win this. I still can't repeat. But if I go to a regular battle, it should work. Now it's on. I win. It fights again. But now these are wrong. You cannot... What does that say? You cannot auto battle against elite monsters. You cannot auto battle against elite monsters. Here it is. And this is using the wrong information, I guess. Get reason for not being able to auto repeat battle. Oh my god. I don't think that's necessarily true, Oogly Booglies. I've been playing a game called The Finals, and they use AI announcer voices. And people seem to like them in the community. Now, I get that maybe by AR art you meant like AI visual art. But even then, I think there are still cases where you can present it in such a way that people aren't necessarily against it. Also, I think this is the kind of thing that's probably going to change in the next like 5 to 10 years, just public sentiment. Because if you think about the old guard, anyone who was out when games were entirely made by humans, they might care a little bit more than others. But it's like, will someone who is, let's say, 7 years old right now, when they're 25, will they care? I know that's an 18-year difference, but will they? Maybe. Someone probably will. I think the broader lesson is probably just like pay attention to what your target audience wants. Because if they are opposed to it, then you might be shooting yourself in the foot. All right, so do we return a... No, we don't. We just get a string. Elite. Okay, this is not good. Okay, is boss instance. This is end battle screen. And we just get it from the location data here. We can't do that anymore. We need to just do this, I think. If it's not elite, or you can repeat it. Hey, Lana, thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. And hey, I'm Audio. I tuned into your stream briefly yesterday, I think it was yesterday. It was one of the after-hours streams. You weren't doing sound stuff. And hey, Steve. Yeah, long time no see. I have been doing well. We've done quite a lot for Skeleseller. It doesn't really look that much different from what it probably looked like last time Lana raided. But we are pretty much done with this thing. This was like the roguelite version of the game. So you can get upgrades that are persistent. You can unlock new perks. And then when you start off a run, you start with very specific things in here. So it's like, oh, we start with a treasure room. We got some treasure chests now. And then when you pick things, you're picking just choices of things. You're not picking the specific one. So if I wanted the warehouse, I'm not offered that here. Anyway, that was the last like major thing we did. And then I took a bit of a detour through localization. And what we had to figure out is like, what languages are we targeting? How will we get all of the strings from the code base? And then how do we translate those? And then how do we involve the community? So I set up this thing called Weblate, and I don't have all the strings here yet. And I don't even have all the languages here. But now someone could go into here, click untranslated strings and be like, oh, Boulder, that should be this in Spanish, and just type it out and hit save. So this is pretty nice too. Jackbox. Yeah. Jackbox is what it was. I was trying to think of the name of it and I couldn't remember it. And hey, Mr. Poolshot and Strawn. Welcome in, everyone. Heard of Localazy? I don't think so. It's like a real-time translation. I mean, this isn't like a real-time translation thing. This is, I mean, at your leisure, you would do this. And then after enough of these have accumulated, I have a way of going through one of these menus and clicking like submit to repo. And then I have to pull it into my Skeleseller repo, and then I've got the translations. So yeah, this is not the kind of thing that just by changing the word here, it just shows up in the game immediately. Although I guess we could have it do that. Let me look up Localazy. Is this an AI-based thing? Automated localization for your software, products, apps, and content. Invite your team, start in minutes, run translations on autopilot. Yeah, interesting. Out of curiosity, what does their free tier look like? Up to 1,000 source keys. Wait, no, they don't have a free tier. Free 14-day trial. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid anything I have to pay monthly for. Especially, I feel like for translation, it's weird because it incentivizes you to get all your translation done like as fast as possible so that you don't have to pay for another month. Has a lot of tools for automating localization. Yeah, and I have some ways of doing this. So I set up an Azure account and I set up their translator service, but it's very similar to just Google Translate in that you tell it a word and it tells you like word in another language, but it doesn't have any context for it. So I thought at the absolute minimum, I could do that so that maybe it's right 30% of the time. That's still 30% of the time someone doesn't have to type something. They could, or at least that they'd see some inspiration for it or something. And I imagine for ability names, it might work decently well, like Fireball. Anyway, I don't know for sure. But yeah, so I was thinking of doing that at the very least and then looking into some LLM stuff. But at some point, I think all of this is lacking compared to having some human review. So at some point, I got to find some people who speak all the languages that I need, or any of the languages I need. So yeah, there's a lot going on with that. Also has community suggestion based on the name of the keys and content of the English entry. Yeah. Yeah. So I've only started this process. I haven't finished it because one of the things we need to do, we have a whole bunch of strings in the game like this. At least one of your adventurers is flagged for battle, blah, blah, blah. This is English and there is no way of having any other languages here. We need to eventually call translate on this. And in this case, we could basically just say I'm done. I just need to import it now. But in some other cases, I need to like format a string. I need to, yeah, anyway. So I got to go through the whole code base and find every single English string. Just ask the community to translate. I think you can do that. I just think you need to be careful. Like, how do you trust translations? Anyway, there's a lot of like little issues, but yes, I will probably get to that. So in my off time, I want to finish translating, or not translating. I want to finish collecting up all the strings that need to be translated, set up the infrastructure for translating them, and then eventually start getting some volunteers maybe, and see where that takes me. So yeah, anyway, that all I was saying is like we were working on bone mode at first, then I switched into localization, and now I think we're just doing launch prep stuff. So I still want to launch in Q1 of next year, and we have the battle map with, nope, what happened? What did happen? Camera zoom changed. Okay, I had some random breakpoint. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we have the battle map. I want to add a couple more locations here, and I want to consolidate the locations we have. So currently, the canyon and the crypt are just boss battles. So you do like 100 force battles, you go this, you can only do one battle here. Boss, you're done. You move on to the next one, do like 20 battles, 30 battles, then crypt. One boss battle, you're done. So what this was fine for what we had, but now I want there to be optional bosses for any given location, and then a way for you to repeat that battle. And you can kind of see, I know my shoulder's blocking it, but there's a start battle button and a fight elite button. So now any given location can have 2 battles at it. It gives you suggestions of what others have also translated the same kind of text to. Yeah. I'm not saying a service like this would be bad. I just want to see what I can do without involving a payment thing. So another thing, like I'm already paying for Copilot. Copilot is different. I'm happy to pay for it because I'm getting value every month from it. But Copilot also has a whole bunch of models that you can use, and some are considered premium models, and you only have so many requests for those. So I could give it a file like this and say, I'm working on a medieval fantasy cutesy game. So translate all these things, and I don't know, when you're in doubt, leave it as like requires human review or something. And then just see what it does. It's going to probably get some of these correct. And I don't need to pay extra for it because I already have Copilot. So yeah, you can use Excel too. So I think if you're talking about what I think you are, there's like some formula that's like Google Translate. At least Google Sheets has this. And you can type in a word and you can type in a source language and a target language. This will work, but it's just like straight up translation, which I think is generally not great. Then I found out the team used Localazy and had to throw out the translation and do it all over again. Wait, did what as well? Because from what it sounds like in your message, you hired people who were supposed to be doing it by hand and used an AI to do it. Oh, translate with Copilot every time I needed a string. Oh, I see what you're saying. You did all of that work and then realized there's a better way, essentially, and use Localazy for it. I see. Because I was going to say, there is a whole category of problems out there, which is like you hire someone to do a job, and then they hire someone to do their job. And you're like, well, if I'd known you'd do that, I'd just hire that direct person, right? And in the future, this is going to turn into they use AI to do the job. And it's like, well, I wanted a human for this. As a dashboard, which is cool, but I still had to do the translation. I see. Yeah, I can't really do translations to any other language. I mean, I know some other languages at like a basic level, but not to like translate a video game level. So I can't really translate any of the languages. But I'm great at English. All right, I hope I've fixed this. So elite battle, we had 2 of these here. This is elite. Well, I guess we can just check if I fix this by looking at this. So this pulls it from the instance, and this pulls it from the instance, and I have to hope that that's good enough. I think you need to be very clear for what you're looking for, telling it what you want contextually. Oh, that you want contextually rich translations. Need more than translate this. Yeah. Although, just to be clear, this would just be my like baseline translation. Afterward, I still want human reviewers. So if it translates, let's say like fireball turns into like marble of fire or something like that, it's not the end of the world. We'd still just have a human reviewer be like, what? And then just come up with the correct thing. But in the case where it's correct, it's like, oh, now I don't need to think about it. I leave that to the other people on the team. Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the, I've mentioned this before, translation is kind of unique in that you can't verify it yourself, at least not for every language. And even if you speak 5 languages fluently, it's like, what are the odds that you only want to translate to 5 languages? And how many people speak 5 languages fluently? All right, so yeah, let's go validate this. I'm gonna start a new game and we're gonna try this out. We had a bug from before that is hopefully fixed, but it's gonna be kind of hard to even tell because I didn't write it down what it was. So I start a battle here, auto repeats on, we can turn it off, that's all fine, great, whatever. If we win, it just auto repeats it. If we have this off and we win, then it does not auto repeat it. So that's all working great. Now we go over to here and we fight the ogre. We cannot, oh, we can turn that on? Okay, that's a problem. I got set to off over here. All right, well, this says that it's off. I'm assuming it's not going to auto repeat. It does auto repeat. All right, that's a problem. Oh boy. All right, so bug while walking to the portal for a boss battle, you can toggle auto repeat if the prior battle was repeatable. We need to know what the new battle is going to be. So it's not whatever instance we had here. It's got to be the instance slot. Do we even have that? In battle screen slot. No, we don't. All right. Oh, we have the instant slot here, though. We could just use that then, right? Wait a second. Wait. What did I just do? Hang on, let me go back a step. I know I typed my name wrong. Mute this, go to the live stream, and go back. Okay, I started a battle there. I tested this stuff out. Then I did something in the canyon. Yeah, what was this? I need to go back. I edited, I clicked fight elite, and now it says the party's walking to the portal, but it's the end battle screen that's a problem. The end battle screen, where this is a problem. Hey, neural net. Okay, so wait then, if I do this, yeah, I can't click this button. So it's only when you're on the end battle screen, and auto repeat should just be disabled in that case. But I guess we can't disable it. Oh, it's because of this, which is this. Yep, right there. Okay, got it. So we need this to pull from the instance slot to know what new battle you're going to use. And we have it. Well. And we don't use is elite anywhere here. What is this? Give reason for not being able to repeat battle. Yeah, this is wrong. This is instant slot that is elite. And this should be the same thing. So if this is not a boss battle, this is not smart, right? Can fight boss is that it's not a boss battle? Or you can repeat this? This is more like can auto repeat. But it's due to boss or something. Due to boss. Excuse me. Man. Hey, King. Or King. I'm new here and I'm curious about how you can code while talking on the stream. Or I'm just the type who needs to be focused on coding. I've been doing this for quite a long time. But also a lot of what I'm doing is just narrating what I'm doing, which is not really that informative for anyone new to the stream. But yeah, I think it's just a technique that I've practiced a bit. And even in this case, it's like, I'm not certain that this is going to work, but I'm hoping it does. I guess we should search for is elite and find any other instances of this. Toggle show stats. I don't think this is right either. Yeah, this would need to be at the very least the instance. Any other is elite? No, everything is now accessed through something else. I wonder if we should search the entire code base for that and see if anything else is broken. I sure hope not. But like this, for example, create enemy battlers. This technically works. Okay, sure. So let's keep looking through the other ones. So I don't care about this one anymore. In fact, let's close every other tab. Just get rid of these. There. So this is done. This one is fine. That's fine, 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 fine. Yeah, all this stuff is fine. Good, good. This is possibly not fine. What is this doing? Debug unlock all instances. Oh, sure, that's fine. It's a debug function anyway. And all of this looks fine. Except for this. And it says to do, see if we need this. Okay. Let's try it again. Just talk about what you're typing while you're typing. Easy. I think some people do find that hard, though. Okay, so now for the test. So we get the town hall, unlock auto battling, and start a battle here. This is working as intended. We win, we do that. Okay, great. So now we come over to here. We try, whoop, nope, 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 cut that out. Okay, hold on a sec. So we start this again. We cannot click this button. But if we started from the forest, so now we can click that. It's enabled. We need to win, and then we need to, I guess we turn that off. Then we need to edit this and go over to here and then not turn this on. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. But is it disabled? How would we, it has to be, right? They better not repeat this battle. Good. Good. So maybe it's different with when you have a meeting with your team discussing about how to debug. I always find it so hard to focus on that situation. I think it depends. Yeah, I think it depends. I think it all comes down to like how much is typing blocking your brain. And that's the technique you can work on. But in general, it's sort of like if you've ever seen people write two different things, one with each hand, like that's a skill you really got to practice. But can people do that and then also talk about something different? So they're writing two different things and talking about a third thing. And I think the only way you'd really be able to do that is if you kind of memorize the things that you're doing such that it becomes second nature and it's just on autopilot. And I think that's what this really comes down to is, are you on autopilot for something? So this is why I think there's some amount of like keyboard mastery you should have so that you don't have to focus too much on what you're doing there and you can still talk about things. But I don't think this is a super important skill for people to have. A lot of times you're typing to yourself or you're typing and it's okay if you're not talking during it. If you're a streamer, it might matter a little bit more. All right, so I think this is totally fixed. We can't ever auto-repeat this, but if I win this battle, we can auto-repeat the regular battle, right? I turned it on. We're fighting a bat. I win the battle. It fights a bat again. Nice. Okay, we're making good progress. I think this is slow progress, but it's good at least. So this is now finished, and we can go check that in. But I did a couple of things here. Yeah. Fix auto repeat issues. Okay, so fix auto repeat issues. So this is implemented, I guess just auto repeating in general was implemented a bit weirdly. We originally had a button on the battle map that would let you toggle auto repeating before starting a battle. At some point we hid that button, but we left the logic for handling pushing it, disabling it, etc. This code removes the tooltip from it since the button never shows. It also fixes issues where you could or couldn't auto repeat. I'll just say where you could auto repeat a battle when you shouldn't have been able to, and vice versa. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, and the code looks fine, so commit that. And we should probably push this. Got like 8 changes I don't want to lose. So if you have auto battling unlocked, it doesn't let you auto repeat a regular battle in the canyon. So that's now done. Wonder if we should remove the auto repeat button from that. I didn't do that. When starting a battle in the canyon for the first time, it shows the boss border even though, no. When starting a regular battle in the canyon. Shows the boss border even though it puts you in a non-elite battle. All right, I'm running a little bit out of time here. Just before lunch. I'll resume after lunch regardless, but yeah, we're approaching lunchtime. So I don't want to start anything too big yet. But let's go test this. How do I test this? We click this. So I want to start a regular battle in the canyon. We first need to win the... Okay, so see this snake around here? This means it's a boss battle. I mean, so does the boss. But if I go fight a regular battle there, so let's close this. And now I start a regular battle. It's also going to have a boss border. So we got to fix that. And if I search for border, maybe we'll find it here somewhere. Wow, use the word border a whole lot. I guess because it's import files. So let's do this. Deleted everything, didn't it? No, it didn't. Okay, cool. All right, so where do we get the border stuff? Wait, what? This isn't even the right search. What happened? Let's just do files to include star.cs. Aha, here it is. Elite battle border. What is this? Instance slot. Okay. So that's what I want to check. Instance slot. Close all these other tabs. Here's the elite battle border. And we set this when? When is elite is true. But for the location data, this is wrong. This should be just capitalized I. And we're done. And now set panel style doesn't need to take in the instance at all. Ooh. Wait. Yeah, it doesn't need to take it in at all. I think that's it. Did I save the game? Save. Because I want to reload directly into the file that already has the ability to fight in the canyon for the regular battle. It just saves me a couple of clicks. All right, so now we load and go here for regular battle. And it should not change the border. It also should not make it gigantic. So if I do that again, start battle in the canyon. Yeah, it doesn't get bigger. But if I start the... Why can I fight the elite? Okay, that's not good. This should be blocked. Oh, man, come on. All right, so bug. It seems like loading from a file that beat the ogre will let you battle the ogre again, even without the perk. But I'm not sure that's true, but still, what do we do now? We click this, and it should expand, and also... No, it doesn't expand because it's not the first time, but it does put the right border on it. And if I go battle over here, it should just be the regular border. Perfect. Okay, so stop using elite border. Wait. Let's search this for is elite and make sure we're not using this from the instance at any given point. Nope, it's good. For regular battles. Starting a regular battle in the canyon before this would show the elite border even though you weren't fighting an elite. Okay, so the next thing to test, and then we're probably gonna get lunch, is this a bug only when you load from a save file, or is it a bug always? So I'm gonna start a new game, and we're going to battle this. Done. And we go into here. So fight elite is enabled. That's correct. And I win this battle, and it should be disabled. It's still enabled. And I can click it. And what, this does 75 damage now? Yeah. All right, so it's not one loading. How do you keep your voice after talking nonstop during stream? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Eternal Abyss. I see your account is 9 days old and you're typing something strange into Twitch chat. Care to explain? All right, so this has nothing to do with loading happens regularly anyway. I'm impressed by your ability to speak everything going through your mind. Well, thanks, and welcome to the stream, Travis. Like I said, it's all a matter, well, maybe not entirely a matter of practice. There are probably some people who still might not be able to do it, I guess. But I think it's just a skill that most people don't need to learn, so they just don't. Although I do think some people are better at multitasking than other people, just in general. I wonder how much games affect that. My hypothesis would be that games improve your multitasking ability. But yeah, I wonder... There are probably other things that improve your multitasking too, but I feel like games more naturally involve it. And ad's about to start in like 40 seconds. I'm debating whether I should take a break or my lunch break. I have 36 seconds to decide. It's 11:30. How about this? I'll take one more break. I really want to get my lunch though. No, you know what? Okay, I'll just stream through this break and we'll just end in like 10 or 15 minutes. So sorry to those who aren't subscribed because you're about to get hit by an ad break that's going to last for 3 minutes. Used to have really bad anxiety when I had attacks. I had a friend I asked to talk and say whatever's on his mind to distract me, and did so well I was shocked even while panicking. That's a really cool strategy they've developed. Yeah. I think that for me at least, it's nice to hear a voice, even if it's your own. And I don't know how this sounds to like the average person, but like I like my voice. I think there are a lot of people who they don't like their voice. I don't like my singing voice. So you'll hopefully never hear me sing. But I like my actual voice, my regular voice. All right, so just this happens and it's not disabling the button. Where should this happen? End battle screen? No. What am I talking about? It's battle panel tab. All right, Eternal, I'm going to time you out if you keep typing stuff like this. Sorry, it's not related to chat. It's not contributing anything. So, try to like somehow have it involve the stream. Okay, I want to go check the elite button. And this gets disabled in some case right here. So let's just put a breakpoint there and find out what's going on. Well, let's make sure we're in the instance where this should be happening. Yes, it is this. All right, so this should be disabled. I think I broke the first condition. Yeah. Can fight boss is presumably true. Yeah. That's... So, oh... I see. This should have been an and. Yeah, whoops. Okay, that's my bad. Tiny little logic mistake there. I even commented on this. Oh well. Wait, which means that these are now even closer to being the same. Has to fight boss. Is that there is a boss to fight? No, but the ore has to go there. Wait. Let me think about this. And for that, and put an ore for that. All right, I'm not going to refactor that. But yeah, let's go try this again. I don't care about the breakpoint. I'm pretty certain this is working. So we need to win this. And go up to here, fight the elite. And then win this battle. And yeah, now you can't fight the elite anymore. And if we save and load, it should be that way still. Perfect. Okay, so fix bug with elite button being enabled. I just had the wrong Boolean logic. And I'll look at the diff, but I think it's just that one line that changed, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Should probably cache a bool is boss showing. I don't think so. Beating the dragon still shows unlock over the waterways. I'm going to just say to test this at the end. Just test this to make sure it's not happening anymore. It should happen after we change the tips. Yeah. All right, what's next? Get rid of code that expands boss windows now that it'll be obvious that you're fighting a boss. Yeah, where's that happen? Probably here. Update panel size. Here. Increase slot size if first time elite battle. Yeah, I think we should delete this. So here's what this feature did. You can change the size of battle windows in the game. So let's say you move this up here and you made this tiny because you're just fighting in the forest over and over and you're like, I don't care about this. When you finally, when you finally go to the boss battle, it would increase it by one size because it was like, oh, this battle matters. You should pay attention to this. I wonder if we should get rid of that behavior now. Because now you know you're going to be fighting an elite. I don't know. And it'll increase it even beyond that. So if I go fight this again, it just made it even larger. And a lot of people are like, why is this bigger? Now at least they would know why it's bigger, I guess. I'll keep this logic. Yeah, why do I care about this? I'll keep this for now. I do want to see what people have to say about it when they play the game for the first time. All right, address to do items. How many more of those do we have? Oh, just 10 of them. Yeah. All right, I guess I'll bump this down to the bottom. And then I guess we're getting to a pretty good ending time. Yeah. Man, this has been a lot of work. I'm not bothered by the amount of work that it's been. I just didn't expect it to take this long. So what do we have left to do? We have to still figure out how we're going to show rewards properly. So with the forest, for example, there's only one fight you can do. So it's not a question of where we're getting these rewards from. It's only from the one fight. But for the canyon, oh, I never beat it. You have the boss fight and then you have the regular fight. And I guess showing you the rewards for the boss fight isn't really important. But the reward you'd get would be the ogre blood. And then that doesn't show anywhere. And also it shows you the rewards for the battle before you've won it. Didn't I have something to do on here about like, don't do this? I do have what to do somewhere. All right, so rewards need to be... What do I even write for this? We show rewards on the battle map, but we need to improve how we do this. So right now, beating the boss for the canyon will immediately show the rewards for beating the regular battle, even if you haven't beaten it yet. I think it should wait for you to have beaten the regular battle. I don't think we need to show boss rewards anywhere. But then we do need to show you boss information somewhere. And that doesn't, yeah, the to-do I need to fix this needs to be changed. We should still show boss information somewhere. That should probably be on the, I don't know. It should probably be in the main tooltip if you haven't beaten the boss yet. But then it should be on the fight elite button if there's no error. Okay. So yeah, we got to fix the reward stuff. Pretty much this whole tooltip. And then what else? We got to show the boss on the mini map, or the map like this. So you would see the ogre here, but you actually wouldn't see the dragon here because you haven't beaten the ogre yet. So it's only going to show you the next boss, and only if you've unlocked the location. Yeah, and they're not even going to be clickable. It's just going to indicate that it's a boss location. The clickable thing is going to be the thing behind it. At which point, I guess you could make it clickable and just make it a proxy for the location behind it. Anything else? New instance maps. Yeah, we've done pretty well. I think we should make some good progress this afternoon. Okay, well, as mentioned, it was pretty close to lunchtime, and now it's even closer. So I've been streaming for about 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to end the morning stream here. I do stream again on Friday afternoons. So in case anyone doesn't know my schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I've usually got 2 streams split up by lunch. So thank you all for watching the morning one. If you'd like to try the Skeleseller demo, it is available on Steam. There is quite a lot of content in it already. I will probably be cutting down the amount of content at some point because I think it's actually too generous. And if you'd like to join Discord, there's a link to that. So thanks, and see you again in about an hour. Take care, everyone.